you're so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, 'cause nobody made us. And no one can take this, 'cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Oh, yeah, here we are. It is Patrick and the People, and it is Wednesday, man. It's a good Wednesday, too. Amanda from the break room in the house.
Good morning.
Rich Rockwell in the house.
I'm not ready.
Bring that heat down a
I was
little bit
gonna
over there.
say, man,
Wow,
I am just knocking everything.
hot as hell,
over.
man. Jesus.
Did you stop at the Shell too?
What?
Shell.
I was asking if Rich stopped at the Shell
Oh,
too. He's
the
hyped
speakeasy
this morning.
shell up the road.
That's where we find all of our.
It's like a
victims at.
speakeasy because, before 6 o'clock or whatever, if you go there, they don't open the doors. They just slide a window.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta-
I've never.
Yeah,
You
no,
have
it's
to know the password.
yeah. You see.
Knock 3 times.
It's
Yeah.
cash.
It's cash.
It's
Right.
cash.
No, I always feel weird because I hand them my card and I'm like,
I know, right? So they start watching the phone for the
yeah,
fraud text.
I'm like,
yeah.
let me see if you're holding your phone to take a picture of that or anything. It
I
makes me
make sure
feel
I have
weird,
cash
man.
at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're getting cash.
I've never ever thought about that.
What's going on with you today, Rich? Man, did you have a good day yesterday?
Yeah, sure. I guess so. I mean, like, I don't.
You don't know? Who knows?
Well-
Can I ask somebody?
Yeah, I mean, you just ever had those days where,
What's up,
like,
little
not
doggy?
by any influence or anything, but like, I just don't remember anything from yesterday. Like, I was pulling into the parking lot
Do
today.
you
like,
remember
are we
what
gonna
time
talk
you pulled
about?
into the dispensary?
I didn't go yesterday. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I feel like I was productive, yet I couldn't tell you a thing that I did.
I was
Like,
extremely
That's
productive.
great.
it was, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I was on
We were
autopilot.
doing something before the show started.
Like we always do.
Yeah, and about this time. Anyway, we were doing roast GPT. Rich brought
Yeah, that's
that
what I
in,
was
and
messing
it
with
was
yesterday, yeah.
it was roasting. He roasted himself, and then had to roast me. It's really funny. So if you get a chance, go to that roast GPT.
Yeah, just
and,
Google it.
You can put your picture in or a picture
Is it
in.
an
You want
app,
me-
or
you
do
want-
you have to
I don't know.
do the Google box?
So I think I believe it's, I think you just got to Google it.
yeah,
It's
it's just on a
it's a
PC.
branch off of Chat
Okay, so-
GPT.
It's not an app. It's just a
I
website.
love the first thing that pops up when I type in roast on my Google box is roast of WrestleMania.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I can
By the
see
way,
that.
did you watch WrestleMania at all?
I got to catch some highlights. I work weekends and
People
evenings
say it was the
now.
greatest one in the history
Yeah,
of WWE.
yeah,
whatever.
Word on the street, right? Word on the street.
Whatever. It was
I-
not
but
that good.
You all right over there?
My
I'm
favorite
just
got a lot
part,
going on.
man.
my favorite part was the
Hold on,
socials.
Rich has got to set his show
I
up.
don't give two F's about his STI. I just know.
Y'all are ridiculous.
I absolutely love what this new era of access to the wrestlers and what's going on.
Oh, right.
and
So-
stories and seeing them as people, and so
Are you excited for the new Unreal Network or Netflix show? Where is that?
please share.
What is
That's
that?
your
Hold
phone.
on.
Oh, that
Somebody's
is my
phone.
phone.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
your
hey,
phone.
that's you.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
that's
get us live
your-
on
That's
Clapper.
your OF
Right.
stream. So
There we go.
Oh, yeah, he's doing his OnlyFans.
well.
No, I'm
It
trying
was
to
his
put
For You
Clapper on for
OnlyFans
us. You know, we
page. It
got to
looked
do all
like
this
some
social
ladies
media
there.
stuff.
I think they were doing feet stuff. That's what it looked like from here, but I don't have my glasses
Yeah,
on.
I did, but I didn't look really hard at it.
It's
So,
all good. What's up, Clapper? I'll say hey.
Hey,
if,
Clapper.
if you don't know, the Looney Bin, May 21st to 25th, I will be performing there, and Sunday, super cool. I was asked to do the Gateway Show, which is a super it's a great show that comes through town. And so what they do is they take, X number of comedians, stone cold sober, put them on a stage. They do a set, 10, 15, whatever. Everybody does it. Then they take you somewhere, probably some dark
green
space
room?
somewhere, and in his terms, get you more blowed than you've ever been.
Oh,
and
my.
and then you have to
Can we
come
do
back
that
out
here?
and perform again. And so it should be a lot of fun. And
So much
I hope that folks
especially for
will-
the attendees.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. It's,
We've got a group already planning on.
Oh,
going.
do you?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We're
It's,
gonna
it's
be
going to be a lot of fun. I guarantee you that show will be a blast for sure.
So you were talking about the Chat GPT roast earlier.
Yes.
Did you want me to share the roast
can.
that it did on you or me or both?
Well, I think
have
share
yours
yours
before.
first
kinda
because
wanna
it's
say-
funnier.
Yeah, no, it is.
It really was funnier. Yours
I'm
was,
considering
So-
a picture to send.
but it's hard for people. They can't see the.
They can't
picture.
see the
Right.
picture.
But,
Well,
but you can describe. Look, it's a picture of Rich
in my suit announcing.
in a suit in front of a wrestling ring announcing.
It's
Okay.
got a. I'll post a picture later. But anyways, I had a nice little light purple shirt on, a silver tie, black jacket.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I had on.
yeah.
So it says. So I put this into the Chat GPT roast thing, and it came back and spit out, "Oh man, look at you, dressed like a mafia accountant who accidentally wandered into a wrestling ring thinking it was a tax seminar. You've got the smile of a man who just bet his mortgage on the wrong wrestler and is pretending everything's fine for the Instagram post.
That's great.
That tie, it's got the personality of a PowerPoint presentation, and that suit jacket looks like it was tailored by someone who's only ever dressed mannequins, blindfolded. You're giving off strong assistant manager of a Chuck E. Cheese on fight night.
Oh no, not
And it
the-
says, when you dress like Vince McMahon, but your real job is telling people the ice cream machine's broken.
That's quality, man. That's that is one thing I've never thought about with AI is having it make meme captions because that is interesting.
Right?
You know,
That's-
to meme yourself or meme, your friends or whatever, and do that.
could just-
That's fun to do. It makes for probably make for like fun novelty birthday gifts. Hey, somebody's birthday is tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
Oh, I have no idea.
It's yours,
Yeah,
my friend. Isn't
you are right.
Oh, it is.
It is. It is.
Yeah, he's 78 and he looks great. Looks great. He looks great.
That plastic surgery's just been doing wonders, man.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. So let's get into a little bit of news that you can use here. We'll get this knocked out real quick. New Jersey wildfires have caused thousands to evacuate. One of the biggest ones in the history of that county burned about 8,500 acres and forced thousands to flee. They're threatening more than 1,300 structures and have caused a lot of power outages and stuff. Just high humidity and wind, that's all.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What an odd place for there to be.
What?
What an odd place for there to be wildfires.
It
It's
is
just
odd.
to me, it's New Jersey.
It is a weird place, isn't
All
it?
right.
Primates like booze just as much as humans. British research studying chimpanzees caught them on camera eating and sharing alcoholic fruit. A team from the University of Exeter set up cameras in the national park in West Africa, recorded the chimps sharing fermented African breadfruit. It was confirmed to contain ethanol, and scientists think the tradition of feasting, but primates and humans alike come from sharing boozy fruit. That sentence
That
made
sentence
no
made
sense
no
Right?
whatsoever, so please forgive me because I did not write that piece of shit.
They were eating some
But
fermented.
I'm not shocked at all. I mean,
No.
I've seen lots of animals that birds do that often.
But the bottom line
of them
is
do.
some research team was like, what can we study?
Yeah, no,
Let's
somebody
go
paid
get
for
some
that.
chimpanzees
Probably
drunk and
a
see what
grant-
happens.
A
Yeah, they
grant
got a
funded.
grant
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Somebody's thesis.
The hotel that inspired the movie The Shining making big upgrades. The new owners of the Stanley Hotel in Colorado tapping into municipal roots to use $300 million to add more rooms, an event center, a horror museum curated by Blumhouse. That's the production studio behind movies like Halloween, Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
The goal is to take advantage of the Sundance Film Festival relocating to near Boulder in 2027. So I guess they're trying to use that to bring people to come stay. Would you?
Is that some
something-
top-notch advertising, man?
Is that something that you would? I mean, would you visit a horror house?
I
like
was
that
just, hey now.
Oh wait, I said that sounded wrong. Horror.
Yes, I would definitely
know-
attend either.
You know what? I swear to God, this is a true story. In 5th grade, and I was so mortified as a kid, so mortified. I almost got in serious trouble. Luckily, they believed I was telling the truth, but this girl was not being nice. I don't remember what she said to me, but I said, "You're such a horror." And that is not what she heard. And why someone would say that, I don't know, but that is what I said. Man, I nearly got kicked out. It took me, he believed me, but man, that was tough
Wow.
right there. Yeah. But would you go to, a novelty place like that had been in a movie you'd seen just to see it?
No.
No, that would
Nothing about The Shining when I've ever been watching it.
Well,
has
what
been
about
like,
what's your favorite, your go-to movie?
I don't know that I have a
Do
go-to
you have a couple
movie.
of them that you like, though?
I mean, Aladdin's pretty cool. Lion King.
That's right. You're also in Slytherin. I shouldn't have
That's
asked you.
America.
I shouldn't have asked you. No, those answers are. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
I mean, you gotta remember, at
That's
the end of the
no,
day, man,
no.
I'm a
So-
single dad of a 6-year-old.
so
Pretty much
yes.
it's SpongeBob, Paw Patrol, and
God.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a Baby Shark vacuum cleaner toy that
no.
I'm more than happy to save.
No, we
for
are
you to come out
definitely
and
past the
bust.
Baby Shark.
No, I'm saying you can come bust it.
Oh,
So
yes.
yes, Patrick, I would absolutely go stay at the Stanley Hotel. But now
Yeah.
that they're turning it into
Tourist attraction.
I am not so inclined
Yeah.
because I would have definitely gone
So
and just
you would
stayed.
go
but,
to
but like now you've made it kitschy.
right. Hey, here's what I've been telling you. Look, this is great. This is how it all begins. So just get ready. I may not see them, but you younger people will see some T-Rexes and raptors chasing you.
It.
A once extinct bird is coming back thanks to laying some eggs in the wild for the first time in 40 years. The Zoological Society of London said they released 9 now endangered seahecks in a spot in Hawaii. So apparently these were extinct.
Okay.
They now brought them back.
So,
And so they're proliferating in the wild.
Okay.
So this is good because now their DNA.
Oh.
See, we're bringing back the old DNA. So
so are they like vital to the ecosystem and the balance and everything in that? In
no,
that
not
environment?
necessarily.
Oh, well, I thought that may be why they were bringing them back,
Yeah,
so
no.
that it, some balance or
No.
no.
They just want to, like woolly mammoths.
Got it. Did they get a grant for
Did
that
you know
too?
they're bringing woolly mammoths?
I've heard about
Yeah,
that.
no, it's great. We're
Makes
just
so
shades.
much
I'm telling you,
sense.
somebody is going to die with a T-Rex at a gas station.
Yeah.
Just like in Jurassic Park.
Could you just see it? A crackhead and a T-Rex.
This is how the world.
And that would be kind of hilarious, to be honest.
Somebody make that happen.
I'm not
AI.
sure that a crackhead
Velociraptor.
wouldn't infuriate a T-Rex to the point it would give up. Now,
give up.
Velociraptors,
Velociraptor.
they'll circle his ass.
I mean,
Look,
But crackheads are
see
more
it?
wily than
we,
anybody.
we need to get a grant for this and create a T-Rex and study it and then go get a crackhead and
Somebody-
figure out,
Yeah,
This-
no,
I mean, there's so many things
I'm
that could
sure we
happen.
could do that. Yeah.
Get approved. Hey, man, if they can get approved to go get chimpanzees drunk, we should get approved to see what happens when a crackhead meets a T-Rex.
That is fair. That's fair. An Arizona jury found doomsday mom Lori Daybell guilty yesterday of conspiracy to murder her fourth husband. This lady is
Good.
not. This lady is so whack. I sat and watched a documentary with Laura on her, and it was, I don't know, maybe 4 episodes, and they were interviewing her directly, and she is not right in the head.
no.
Prosecutors argued killing was premeditated, motivated
Yes.
by life insurance, her desire to marry this other guy that she married 4 months later. She was already serving life sentences for the murder of her 2 youngest kids and Chad's first wife.
Yes.
Jeez.
Somebody, I swear to Jesus, man, let her get in General Pop for 5 minutes.
Now
Please. Please.
she won't be arrogant anymore. I can promise you
She
that.
won't be breathing.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah. We don't.
Uh-oh.
Lessons.
Tesla's first quarter earnings report revealed a significant downturn.
Shocker.
Yeah, not shocking at all, actually.
No.
The automotive sales dropped 20%, deliveries fell 13%. There's many different factors in it,
Yeah.
but basically he said, listen, I'm going to be cutting back my time in government work because I need to take care of my company. And that's exactly what he's like. You got the team now, I got to go. I'm losing money now, Chief. I'll be back.
Oh.
So, yeah, he's going to do that now. So everybody's going to be so excited
To have him back, yeah, now we'll all support.
So excited.
No, they'll try to shoot him.
Please.
Let's see. After hinting that a ban might be coming, the FDA announced yesterday it's urging food companies to stop voluntarily using synthetic food dyes and switch to alternatives that are natural.
Yeah, please stop doing that voluntarily.
Instead of enforcing a ban, they're going to set a national timeline for industry to make the change. You mentioned that a lot of companies are willing to remove artificial dyes, so they prefer collaborating over just, hammering businesses down as they try to make these switches. The food industry argues that the dyes are safe. Well,
No, they're
listen,
not.
they're not.
Yeah. This has been proven.
This is not a question. There's no argument about this. That is big food telling you this is okay.
Exactly.
There's a reason it's banned in Europe.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Kevin Bacon was the lead in Footloose. Like, quit arguing like what we know factually. Like, these dyes are
Oh, that is true. He
Yeah.
was. Yeah, I was getting ready to say, did that change with the Mandela effect? Because I remember that pretty well.
No, I think, I just think of this episode of Family Guy whenever there's certain, instances like that, and it's where this guy is sitting on a couch with a donkey, because these kinds of things happen in Family Guy, and they're having a conversation, and the donkey is arguing with him that Kevin Bacon wasn't the lead in Footloose.
Oh.
And the guy's like, what are you talking about? Like, it launched his career. Like, he's like, no, and starts just hee-hawing like a donkey, like a
Yeah.
jackass. And so, I don't know, it's just something, it made me think of
That
that.
is
and I was
funny,
like, no,
though.
seriously.
No,
Kevin
that-
Bacon was the lead. Like,
Yeah, no, that
2
is.
plus 2 is 4.
Yeah, I thought that there's a scene in Step Brothers that, when I'd seen it the first few times, I'd sworn was there. And then all of a sudden it was gone for years. And I thought I'd Mandela affected myself. It's the fancy sauce scene.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you know Step Brothers well
Oh,
enough to know
yes.
the fancy sauce scene, but it's a quality scene.
It is a quality scene.
But they edit it out on the shorter TV
Mm-hmm.
versions or some of the versions. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not insane. It really did happen. It really did happen. I didn't roofie myself.
No, and so did Shazam.
You didn't drink your own
like, These
Kool-Aid.
things really did happen.
Yeah, no, you got to be
Fruit of the
careful.
Loom did have a little.
No, they did.
It did.
They did have something going on.
It did.
All right, let's see. Secretary of State Rubio announced reductions at the State Department. Okay. 3 federal prosecutors resigned. They were pressured on the Mayor Adams case in New York. Let's see. So Mayor Eric Adams, Celia Cohen, you don't give a shit. Neither do I, really. This is what you care about right here. It's a safe bet.
OnlyFans?
Yeah, it's a safe bet this wasn't left by the Easter Bunny on Sunday.
Oh, my.
Multiple packs of
I
cocaine
knew
washed
it.
ashore in Jamaica Beach, Texas. That is appropriate.
That is appropriate.
Following a reported offshore ship raid, local and Galveston police discovered the drugs on the Gulf Coast beach. They believe the crew of the ship dumped it overboard during the raid, so that led it to flow out. But the packages, some labeled 7-P, all in seaweed. But man, that's
Gotta
great.
love Galveston.
Man, that's Luke just
Yeah.
went there. He just went.
Yeah,
Bundy was down there, too.
Bundy,
Or was
yeah.
it Bundy?
Yeah, it was Bundy,
Maybe it was
yeah.
Bundy,
Jamie.
not Luke.
Yeah, Bundy and Jamie were
Yeah,
down
they
there, and man, they were right there on the beach that we
You
always
just
go
missed it.
to. Yeah,
He just missed it.
Maybe that's
could
why
have
he
you'd been
funded
there
a lot of ventures.
a week later, and you could have had something.
Maybe
going.
we just uncovered Bundy's secret identity.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Electrician by day, drug cartel by night.
That's great. When Dr. How do you say it? Eltieb went into cardiac arrest at home earlier this month, his 14-year-old daughter, Talia, performed CPR for 20 minutes, saving his life. According to responding paramedics, it was her response in the crisis that played a role in his survival and recovery. He's later diagnosed with a rare heart condition, and now the family's advocating for CPR training.
Absolutely.
You should know it. I mean, you really should.
Absolutely.
I went through that one time. I ended up popping the dummy's head off.
That
That's
doesn't
not the goal.
surprise me.
Not the goal. Not the
I
goal.
failed CPR training.
They actually had, the last time I was over at
I had to get my
UNR, had
GED and
some-
CPR.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Jason Wayne Hunter and Sean Irion, they're 2 guys from Branford, Florida. They rescued a woman being assaulted by her husband last Thursday. Both men who'd never met before were out fishing on the Santa Fe River when Hunter noticed something was wrong. He heard a strange noise and saw a woman asking for directions. the attacker, the woman's 66-year-old husband, was seen repeatedly striking her.
Jeez.
So Hunter followed the boat, teamed up with Irion, who helped intervene. They knocked a knife from his hand, disabled the boat's fuel line while they waited for deputies to arrive. And sure enough, the sheriff's office confirmed he was taken into custody for domestic violence. He said he couldn't ignore her cries for help.
Wow.
You know, yeah. Now, if
That's what's up.
That is.
yeah, if somebody's wanting
you.
help, yeah, you should damn well step in.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you that when I was probably, and I think she was just looking out for. I've had a lot of weird experiences. I think she was just looking out for me. But I lived in Southwest, and I walked to Safeway, and it was early in the morning, or yeah, it was early in the morning because it was still kind of overcast, dark, you know. And this couple was fist fighting in the parking lot, and the dude was hitting her. And I ran over to try to intervene, and she said, "Get out of here," you know. But I was trying to intervene,
Yeah,
you know.
she
but
was trying to protect you.
I'm sure she was.
I've done that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, no, if you don't try to intervene as a grown ass man, something's wrong.
Right.
No.
You know, I'm not gonna. Ghost has released a new single, "Peace Filled," from their upcoming album Skeleta. Maybe it's Skelete, I don't know. Set to
Skeleton.
release on Friday. The track is the third preview from the album following Satanized and Lacrima. It embraces a 1980s rock vibe. Yeah, I think they said they're getting ready to give up their costume. And
That's
all
what
that.
I heard.
Yep.
That they're just going to go, I guess, normal, so to speak, quote unquote.
So they're pulling a kiss, like they're
I
taking
guess
everything
unmasked.
off. Unmasked.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Do we want to see them?
Probably not.
Not sure.
It's kind of what happened with Kiss.
Yeah, no, they put their mask
They
back
put
on.
that shit right back on.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
No.
All right, let's see. You can bet on who will be the next pope, by the way. That's online.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
Yeah. I'm saving that for later. I can't talk about that now. A Florida woman is letting her voice be heard after suffering a bite from a wild raccoon. Gail Hines said she felt a bite on her leg after she opened the door to her backyard. After shaking the trash panda off, she said it ran off to a corner and died. Once people realized it wasn't rabid, well, then everybody started really giving her hell. They started roasting her.
No shit.
Friends were eager to point out one of the bites of it only took one bite of her to kill the animal.
For real.
It's believed the raccoon took in pet rat poison, which is what killed it. So it probably was, you know, in
Right on its last leg.
yeah, it was
it was on
hallucinating.
her leg.
Good one, Patrick.
Yeah.
Good one.
A new bill.
I was gonna go with like that's one thing of ketchup that I don't want or whatever. You know.
Yeah, it wasn't
Heinz.
gonna work.
That was awful.
I know, right?
No.
Chat GPT roast that.
Yeah,
Roast
please.
GPT
A
that.
new bill before the Florida Senate, if passed, would make it open season on intrusive drones. The goal would be to expand the restriction on unmanned aircraft systems that this would give property owners the right to use reasonable force to stop drones from conducting surveillance, citing reasonable expectations of privacy. From there, the definition of reasonable is open to interpretation. It is Florida, so you do
Exactly.
the math on that shit.
Whatever happened to all those gigantic like?
I was gonna ask what that meant.
We just kind of stopped talking about that.
All
of a
the
sudden.
drone delivery
Yeah,
stuff.
no, all the drones that were up, like the SUV-sized drones that everybody was talking about. That
You don't
the government
remember?
was like, don't, you know?
You don't remember?
No, I guess not.
Yeah, they said.
I remember the government came out and said,
Yeah,
don't worry about them.
We looked into it. They were legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they said.
That's
Dad.
all. Yeah.
And we're just like, oh, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Did you die?
Not yet.
Okay.
There was something else. Look over here.
Right.
Over here, Rich.
So that's basically
over
what
here,
happened.
Rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Right.
Thinking outside the box leads to great scientific discoveries. In this instance, we're talking about the litter box.
Stop it.
For his sixth grade science fair, a kid named Henry teamed up with his mom to get to the bottom of feline behavior literally. His quest was the answer to this. Do cat buttholes touch every surface they sit on? So he and his mom found some toxic lipstick, applied it to each of their cats' anuses. The cats were then given commands like sit, wait, lie down, and jump up. Well, since when do cats take commands? It says the cats have been well trained since birth and were rewarded with treats, compliments, and praise. But after 10 minutes of data collection, the lipstick was all wiped off. Turns out the buttholes didn't touch every surface. Long and medium haired cat anuses made no contact with soft or hard surfaces at all. But short haired cats, only on hard surfaces, didn't make contact. So that does mean that on your soft bedding surfaces, your pillows, that's where their butts are going to touch.
Right.
Just know that. Your couch cushions. Yeah.
They
Oh,
farted
God.
and rubbed their butt.
Did you think you'd hear about that study today?
No.
I didn't.
That's pretty
I-
fantastic.
But again,
I
this goes back to my statement a little while ago about we can certainly get funded to see what happens between
No.
crackheads and T-Rexes.
But this,
man.
at least this was something they did at home. I'm just like, who argued about who's going to put the lipstick on?
right?
Yeah. And how did the cat feel about
Thank
that?
you.
I would think that it would be a little discomforting, just for
How
me.
did the cat not just immediately try
Like
to go
try
lick
and
it off
attack?
and clean it
They
off?
must be
like,
very trained cats because they said they followed
Seriously.
commands.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
seen one do that.
Uh-oh. So the cat was trained to stand there and let
Yeah.
you apply lipstick to its...
Yeah, I guess. As the world mourns the passing of Pope Francis, are they?
Are we? Yeah.
People are starting to remember some of the stranger parts
Of Catholicism?
of his reign.
Oh.
In 2014, he was delivering a homily on acceptance and asked, "Who are we to close doors even to people from Mars?" That's not really
I
that
loved
weird.
him.
It's not that.
He was probably my favorite
that's not
quote
that weird.
in a minute.
Yeah, so
He was fun.
I guess he's I
was
don't know.
fun.
He had some moments.
He was a lot more progressive.
I mean,
He
I
was
guess
one of
I
the more
don't follow the
progressive
popes like
Well,
that.
why would you? Like, does it affect your life?
You don't. That's not the
Okay.
first
That's what I
thing.
mean.
you
I
do.
don't follow him, so
Yeah.
I don't know how funny.
No,
Mine
When
is.
I mean,
you-
but it-
When
but
you
gotta know,
wake
like,
up
I
in the
grew
morning
up-
and
Yeah.
you grab your phone, you don't go to Pope Book right
Stop
away.
it. I
No,
grew
I
up
would
Catholic
love
and
to.
Baptist.
I would have loved to. Put one in the air with him.
He probably would. He was. He
Where
was
you think
Like,
all
do
that
you speak
smoke
English,
comes from
bro?
for the chimney?
Yeah, he does.
That's what I hope so
He
because
speaks.
I'm
He
kidding. I know
spoke
he
a
does.
few languages.
I know most Europeans speak
Yeah,
3 or more.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
We're lazy here.
I grew up going to Catholic school, the better part of my life, and my kids' lives. So, I mean, I've it's been in my face for a
Yeah.
few decades, and he was a pretty chill pope.
He
Like,
did seem like
he was a lot more progressive and accepting. He was much more about preaching and encouraging people to actually act the way that Jesus, did, and that God would want you to. And
I like the Pope in Ghost though.
100.
I do follow him a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
Did you all hear about the? This is a totally separate news story.
What?
But did you hear about the dude from Michigan that called in a bomb threat to the cruise
Oh,
line?
to the cruise line, yeah.
Yeah, because his
idiot.
girlfriend and parents were going and they left him behind and he was
Yeah.
pissed about it.
Yeah, no,
Did you
he's an
see
idiot.
the lady that ran out on stage and pushed a bishop off, or I guess not stage, but out? Like he was performing mass, and she comes from the back and pushes him.
Oh, I did
like,
see
off
that.
it.
Yeah.
And then there's the one where the pimp walked into a church and slapped the bishop or the priest or whatever for not paying his hoe.
These like TikTok
Oh, wow.
videos or something.
No, I've sent these to the chat. I promise
Man, you got to
like,
be
people are
careful, man.
reporting this.
I've noticed now,
You won't-
and some of them at the bottom will say AI.
Oh, do
You know,
they?
no,
AI
I'm not saying
created.
those are, but I'm noticing some of those lately because there was a couple.
They are coming out.
You can
You're-
kind of
Well,
tell.
some of them you can, some of them you can't. Like there was this one where I thought, man, that's the dopest martial arts move I've ever seen in my whole life.
and it was.
And it was and I looked and I went, man, that's very disappointing. I'd like to see it in a movie, but I mean, it was like wow, man. And then I saw it again, but the person who did the moves was completely different. And same move, same video,
Right.
different character they generated to do it. So you got to be careful
I
and
just
watch
had a
those.
weird thought, but
You have a lot of them, I'm
I
sure.
know. I know.
On Sunday, 32-year-old Lord O'King was arrested in Lincoln, Nebraska after police observed him driving the wrong way on a one-way. Officer noticed the smell of booze. He had an ignition interlock on the vehicle. That's one of those things you got to blow. He also had an active arrest warrant and a revoked driver's license due to a prior DUI in 2022. Then he failed his blood test with an alcohol count of 0.275, so that's over 3 times the limit. Then he exhibited belligerent behavior. And, yeah, he's not getting out for a while.
Yeah.
He's going to be there a minute.
He went for the grand slam of oopsies.
Yeah. Let's see. They're over. Oh, hold on.
What's up, everybody? Sean saying good morning.
Oh, what's up,
Latasha.
man?
Morning.
Latasha said she once tried to intervene with a guy who was hitting his little brother at Walmart. She said Tom had to pull her back because he was going to fight the guy for trying to hit her.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to scrap.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you got to do it. You just got to. There's overreactions, and then there's attacking a kid in Tampa, Florida. 43-year-old Marius Mulu arrested after he attacked an 11-year-old. He thought the kid had been throwing eggs at his apartment, a problem he claimed had been ongoing for a week. When he saw the girl walking, he assumed she was responsible, chased her down, pushed her to the ground. Video showed the kid screaming for help as he restrained her. He told deputies he was trying to take a photo of her to show the apartment management. Yeah, he is.
Do that, bro.
No, you can't do that.
Can't do that.
See, this is what happens when you're your own detective. Maybe set up a camera and get some proof. I mean, I don't know. They're not that expensive.
Florida is crazy with kids, man.
Man,
Like the labor laws, beating kids. Remember that video I sent of
Florida,
that
yes.
police officer?
Yes.
That, like,
Florida
ran
is
over the kid?
insane.
what ran over?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
on the
video I
bike,
sent.
on
I sent it.
bicycle.
These kids were like, they were riding in the street. They were being kids.
Yeah.
They were riding their bikes in the
Was the
street.
kid okay?
And yeah, the kid was
Okay.
okay,
That's
but
all I
like
need.
the cop, like somebody called the cops because
Get
they
him in
were,
the car.
just being stupid.
They were being kids.
Yeah.
And the cop comes flying up and like hits the kid
Yeah.
on his bike
Yeah.
and like, yeah, dude, it was
Throws him
crazy.
from the bike and then
Wow.
tackles him.
Yeah, like
Just-
6 cops tackle the kid.
Yeah,
It was
it
kid?
was- yeah.
Dude, I'm serious,
And
a kid.
Like a 8-year-old.
Gonna hit him with his car
Yes.
like he
And the
just
cop
robbed a
didn't
bank?
get like
Didn't get in
any.
any trouble.
Yeah, they were like,
No
oh, he's
trouble.
good.
I was like, yeah, let him out.
Now
'cause
launch
I-
my kid in there and see what happens.
yeah, yeah.
All right. How about some NBA tonight? The playoffs, man. It's been pretty good
that
so
still
far.
going on?
Hell yeah, it is. Damn right it
Jesus.
is. Orlando Magic at the Celtics. The Celtics lead, and the Celtics look very, very good. I don't think Orlando's really going to have an answer. The Heat at the Cavaliers. Cavaliers lead that. They should come out of this one. And then the Warriors and Rockets. That was a closer game. Warriors lead 1-0, but I don't think this one's a cakewalk for them. So, but good games tonight to watch. The NHL playoffs. The Canadians and Capitals. Capitals lead at 1-0. Stars Avalanche. It's a tied series. And then Oilers and Kings. The Kings lead the series 1-0. You probably heard some of the Shannon Sharp stuff. It got uglier yesterday. Tony Busby sent audio to TMZ purported to be Shannon Sharp threatening to choke the S out of a woman who'd filed a sexual assault lawsuit. Now, I read some of the text from that yesterday, and I was kind of sketch on some of the text. To be honest with you, it sounded kind of contrived to me. But at some point toward the end of the relationship, this is when this heated conversation occurs. And I listened to the clip, and it doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good. Now, he did say that her allegations of rape were BS, and he shared some graphic text messages he said were sent to him by his accuser, backing up his side of the story. So I think probably a lot of this is he said, she said.
Right.
But
Sounds like you have somebody that's, either the hint of jealousy there or something didn't go down the way they thought it should, and
Yeah.
now they're trying to extort what they can.
yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. The Athletics Anonymous NBA Players Poll has returned. This time 158 players polled from 30 teams. That's about a third of the players. Their opinions voiced on topics from current players, gambling, three-pointers, and more. So who do they think is the MVP? More than half said it's SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Other than your team, who would win the title? They say the Celtics with 57%. I don't believe that. It is possible, but I don't think so.
Do you have a team?
Well, not really, to be
Okay.
honest with you, but I like Oklahoma right now. I think they got a really good shot at it.
Gotcha.
They're really good. Says 5 years from now, who's going to be the face of the NBA? They say it's going to be Wembanyama. He is amazing. Dude has like a 7.5-foot wingspan.
Dang.
Like it's ridiculous, like a pterodactyl. Who's the most overrated player? They said Tyler Halliburton. Who's the most underrated? Cade Cunningham. Man, that dude is good. All right, now we talked yesterday about the big three.
Oh, do we have an update?
do.
That was a huge,
Well, we did break a story yesterday pertaining to the big three, which is the professional or semi-professional ball league that is owned by Ice Cube and some other people as well. And so, lo and behold, we have a friend who is an investor owner, okay, and there was a landslide of investor owners who felt like they were fleeced by the big three.
Right.
They were promised certain items they felt like they didn't get. And more than that, they felt like that the team was playing a shell game with them because they put some teams on hiatus and started new teams, so they weren't paying out on these teams anymore. And so it was kind of a yes.
And well, I was just going to say, and from what I've kind of gathered from it all, it's not necessarily just like, the financial side of the investment, like that they were, we're expecting money back, but like even the, thankful items, as I call it, for being a sponsor, the T-shirts, the tickets, the merchandise, they're not even getting that, you were saying.
Right. Well, no, I mean, there were a lot of perks that were supposed to come with it, and they had been fighting for 2 years to get the perks they say were promised to them. And as I said yesterday, we had the receipts. And well, this story started to break open yesterday, and literally, I feel like we had some things happen that lead me to believe that we led to a response.
Oh, I would say so.
from
Absolutely.
them. Yeah, because
Absolutely.
the first thing that happened was it blew up on social media.
Mm-hmm.
It started blowing up, particularly over on X. It blew up pretty big. And then it was liked by Ice Cube's son.
Oh.
He didn't
Right.
share it or comment, but he hit the like on it.
He at least saw it.
Right. Then it was tagged at Pat McAfee and TMZ. Several people were starting to tag it around,
Right.
and starting to tweet quote.
Well, and there was some other
quote
big,
tweet, I
I
should
guess
say.
I'd call them ex-influencers that, had reposted it, I saw also.
Yeah.
So I don't know, what they're.
No, there
yeah.
were, and so hold on, let me see if I can give you this update because I'm not. I thought that we had it right there, but I don't. I know I got it here. So
I was going to say, I can pull it up on here if you need me to, but.
no, I think I got it. I want to read their actual comments to you, or at least some of them. I'm not going to read all of them, but they did.
Are you talking about the one that was circled in red?
No, well, I was talking about when they responded to the big three, actually, what they put out, and I think I got it here. Okay, yeah. So here we go. Yeah, the big three came out and basically was saying, "Hey, listen, we've heard what you're saying, and we understand your frustration, and we're going to try to work through it and see what we can do." Meanwhile, yeah, those teams are still on hiatus. That's the essence of what they said. They basically kicked the can down the road, is what they did.
Yeah, well, it says here, if I'm reading this comment correctly, that this is what they had responded with as far as the big three said. Most importantly, bear in mind that the terms of our NFT deals are clear. There was absolutely no expectation of profits associated with an online NFT transaction. That was made crystal clear when purchasing NFTs. The transactional language at the point of purchase disclaimed zero ownership or expectation of profits and was clearly laid out in bolded verbiage, which we can always provide upon request to our NFT holders. Team sales to new owners are not fully complete, and the new owners want new team names. That means only 4 current teams are continuing this year, but our hope is to bring back the teams on hiatus in future seasons. Like we said, we will work with everyone to keep them involved and make our best efforts so that our NFTs are valuable someday.
Yeah, so I don't know what all's in the legalese and where all in the language it is, but what I'm going to tell you is that we made a ripple
Right.
with a small stone.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so that's awesome. Now, you know that you have to be careful when you're investing in these crypto-based, these invisible currency things. All right, that's what I'll call it, invisible currency. And here's another one, just as a great example. Okay, not quite. It is crypto linked. A new device. It's called Suiplay or Suiplay. It's SUIPLAY. It's a handheld gaming device that there's something going on here. All right. So here's it's blowing up online because basically they've sold, investors on this. All right. So they accept only crypto as payment. Pre-order started in September, and now users are getting cold feet. It says. The SweetPlay OX1, a handheld gaming console developed by Miston Labs and Playtron, has garnered significant attention, promising to bridge Web 2 and Web 3 gaming with native Sweet blockchain integration. I don't know what that means, but I know it's important.
Right.
But I know it's important. But the bottom line is that they've been telling people this was coming and was coming and was coming, and now all of a sudden people are like,
Where is it?
Is it ever? It's not arrived.
Right.
There's nothing here, and people are paying big money. They indicate that some pre-order customers paid $5.99 plus shipping in crypto.
Wow.
They haven't received their device as of April 2025. A Reddit thread in January included users expressing saying, "I pre-ordered last September. Still no shipping update. Anyone else?"
Wow.
Official sources confirmed deliveries are scheduled to begin in 2025 with no date provided. The company won't address the individual complaints. The website emphasizes shipping fees and taxes will be settled closer to the shipment date, saying they're not really ready to distribute, but it doesn't sound good. And so, when you have to invest in something, they're like, only crypto?
Right.
I'm just saying that it's.
It should already be kind of sus.
The blockchain can be safe and it can also scam you.
Right.
And I'm not saying that is, but I'm saying these kind of things you got to watch out for because, maybe this company had a good idea, but they're not delivering on it.
Right.
I'll tell you that much. Now, I do want to do this. We had a great interview yesterday. I had a great interview with Mike Quackenbush is the guy's name, and he's phenomenal. He's done so many things in his career. He's a very, very interesting person. He's hosted a lot of podcasts, but he is a wrestling professional, a professional wrestler. He is a trainer, a high-level, sought-out trainer. He's also in film and other things. And so I did an interview with him yesterday. Now, let me admit that I goofed up. I realized it about 2 minutes into the interview that I hadn't pushed the record button. I'm just going to be honest with you. So it picks up kind of in a little bit of an awkward place. But nonetheless, I think the interview is still plenty just fine. You're not going to really miss anything, but I'm just giving you some of the reality. Enjoy this interview with Mike Quackenbush. Man, listen, I had a paper route when I was about 13, and I used all my money to go buy comic books, and as you said, in that golden era, especially with the X-Men, Chris Claremont was one of the main writers. He was so good, such a compelling writer, just created so many great things, the Logan series and a lot more. And, of course, Spider-Man, I always liked him because he was every kid. He's just a snarky, smart aleck, fun kid who got bit by a spider. So we could all be that, right?
Right. Yeah, I think that contributes a lot to his enduring popularity and why he's the most licensed superhero of them all.
No doubt. I think you're right. And I think what that also translates into the wrestling world, because just like you said with the 1-2-3 kid, when a kid who's not some kind of giant, big muscled up kid sees someone like them out there doing it, whether it's a Rey Mysterio, a 1-2-3 kid, whomever it may be, that they can, the Edge, people that get out there that don't have those over the top bodies like Triple H or The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right, and that was my notion. I think growing up watching or seeing at least glimpses of the Ultimate Warrior, the British Bulldog, the Warlord, and not having a conception that there was a massive universe of wrestling outside of what was on TV.
right.
I just figured that's what you have to be able to do this job. But it was things like, Bill Apter's wrestling mags, like Pro Wrestling Illustrated and The Wrestler. They started to kind of open up, to me anyway, this other universe, that there was, completely separate wrestling from Europe, Japan. There was Lucha Libre from Mexico. There were wrestling events in my hometown populated by wrestlers that were only known on the local scene. All of this was like revelatory.
Right, right. So, you get into the scene and you start your wrestling career. How did it start out? I mean, did you start out strong? Did it take you a little while to get there? How did that work?
Oh, as terribly as you possibly could is the
Right.
answer, Patrick. Horribly. If I could redo the first 3 years, I would. That's where I would start. There's a lot of years I would redo, but could we start with the first 3 years because they were dreadful? It really wasn't until I met an independent journeyman named Ace Darling, and he started to mentor me. He really took me under his wing and kind of showed me the right way of doing things from the wrong way of doing things. Number one, I was being injured a lot less in the ring because I knew how to protect myself. I knew how to take better care of my opponent. I knew the kinds of things that you only really learn from experience. And it was really down to his kindness and generosity that I learned a lot of those very valuable lessons, probably when I needed them most. If I had continued on at that pace, I probably would have incurred more serious injuries or even worse, hurt someone else.
Where were you when I needed you a couple months ago? We had a big local event here with VCW. Actually, it was 4 different independent wrestling divisions that combined, you remember? And, one of which I participated in as kind of a way to help, generate some attention. And, man, a little something went wrong. And so, what was supposed to be one way ended another, and it ended with, a very large man landing on top of me on the rope, and my ribs were on the rope and nothing else. So I cracked 2 ribs. And
grief.
so I learned immediately, listen, you have to take it seriously, even if the outcome may be predictable or may be known. There are still a lot of uncertainties and variables that can really affect you long term, and everyone else, as you said. So,
Right. You really do have to approach this skill set with the seriousness of an academic student getting a failing grade, desperate to pass.
I think you're right.
If you bring anything less than that level of attention to it, I think, unfortunately, circumstances like you just described, Patrick, they're very common. I know because I went through that myself. Don't get me wrong, wrestling can be a lot of fun. But before it can be that, it is a lot of hard work.
It is, and people don't understand. One of the phrases you hear in wrestling is "take the bump," and that's describing when you get hit, and you have to sell that bump, you have to sell that hit, But people don't realize that just doing that over and over and over again has a toll on the body. Just falling has a toll on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. They equate a single bump taken in the ring with being in a car accident at 20 miles an hour. And if you were out there performing for 10 or 12 minutes, well, you might end up taking 15 or 20 bumps. Most humans don't go through that number of car accidents in a lifetime.
Right.
Or if you do, they should probably check your mirrors.
Yeah, get your
mirrors.
license from you.
But, right, it's a lot to put your body through.
It is. Now, so, through this, you became a trainer because you became very good at what you did. You understood how to do these things and stay healthy and, sell these things. how did training compare to being in the ring?
Well, admittedly, in the very beginning, when my training facility, the Wrestle Factory, opened at the very top of 2002, I was sort of reluctantly dragged into it by my business partner. At the time, we were also tag team partners. The Reckless Youth, Tom Carter, very much wanted to start his own training facility, and it just seemed like, well, this was a project that we would collaborate on. But not long into the training center's lifespan, Tom decided he was going to start getting out of the wrestling business and focusing on his life outside of the ring. And I thought, oh no, am I going to get stuck doing this by myself? I don't feel particularly qualified to do this, and I don't think I'm a particularly good teacher. But when the day came that it was just me, my business partner had packed up and was gone, I realized I better get good at this job as quickly as possible. Even if this was not something I ever wanted for myself, at the time I had 11 trainees.
Wow.
So, some of them have gone on to great renown. Eddie Kingston was in that class.
Really?
Referee Bryce Remsburg was in that class. I had to go in and face these guys and basically tell them, you're stuck with me. I know Tom was the superior teacher here, but we're going to have to make this work. And I realized that, at least to those 11 people who'd entrusted us with not just their safety, with their future potential, but they'd given us a lump sum of money, I was obligated to get good at it. But it did take me a while.
Yeah. So, fast forward to now, and, tell me about what you've established now. Where are you now, and what's going on with your center now?
So the Wrestle Factory is now 23 years old. I've trained more than 1,000 professional wrestlers, some of whom perform on the very biggest stages of them all. So some of my kids include Claudio Castagnoli, who was Cesaro for WWE.
Yes.
I know I mentioned Eddie, Orange Cassidy, Alexa Bliss, Malachi Black, Wheeler Yuta, Drew Gulak. And then, there's kind of a meaty middle, like anything else with a bell curve to it. In the meaty middle are a bunch of outstanding wrestlers who certainly are not as well known. I think of Hollowicked and Jigsaw and Sonny Defarge, etc. And of course, there's a handful, they never finish training at all, right? They maybe train for a year, they get close, and maybe they get set back by injury, or they make a last-minute decision, you know what, this really isn't what I thought it was.
Right.
I maybe just wanted to do it for a laugh, but I realized it's a lot of hard work, and that's not what I signed up for. So, in addition to the work that I do domestically, I also now go all over the world. I've been lucky enough to train wrestlers on every continent except Antarctica. And I'm just back from 2 weeks of doing exactly that in Australia. I just taught 19 classes down under. So,
How was that trip, by the way? Did you enjoy Australia?
yeah, very much so. Maybe not so much the travel. The 31 hours it took to get there, I think I could do without that.
That's tough. Better
yeah,
watch a
there
lot of
aren't-
movies.
Patrick, there aren't enough movies to watch to make those 31 hours. I downloaded so many podcasts. I took a book. I thought I was so ready for it. You are never ready for 31 hours in a plane seat.
No, you might have to take a sleeping pill. That's a tough ride, 31 hours there. So how was the
Yeah.
country, though? Did anything try to kill you while you were there?
No, this is my third tour of Australia. Each time I've been down, I've been lucky enough to both train and to perform. So that's always a real treat. Anytime I get to wrestle for fans in another part of the world, I feel very, very fortunate. I don't think, maybe when I was younger in my career, I appreciated how unique these opportunities are. And for many who I think find international recognition, relative fame, or whatever metric you want to measure that by in wrestling, if they find it early in their careers, they often don't appreciate how much hard work it takes to get there. And I think, for example, when I started touring Europe regularly in 2003, maybe I didn't fully appreciate how difficult it was to land bookings, to be able to say, I've wrestled in Switzerland and Germany and England. Now, when I look back on that 30 plus years in, I realize these are probably the defining events of my career. The opportunity to wrestle in Japan, the opportunity to wrestle in Australia, because, where I'm at age-wise, and just generally, right? I mean, you can take a look at me. I'm clearly not WWE performer material, even though I've done some coaching for them. I've never appeared in a WWE ring, and I never will. The way in which I will carve out my own legacy is going to be based mostly, I think, on my international renown, as opposed to a WrestleMania moment or
Right.
something that seems more meme worthy.
Right. No, I can understand that. Now, having trained so many, do you keep a lot of connections within the wrestling universe? Do you stay in contact with people? Are you involved in those type of things regularly?
I try to stay as in touch as I possibly can, and I know earlier kind of jokingly called them my kids. I think of my proteges that way. They are my wrestling children. Given that the numbers of them, there's more than 1,000 that I've trained, and then there might be someone who's just taken a seminar or two with me, but they're part of my greater professional network as well. If I tried to total all those people up, the number is, you could drown in it. I just could not possibly maintain regular contact with that many people if I had 40 hours in a day instead of 24.
Right.
It couldn't be done. And sometimes I feel like a lousy friend, or even a lousy mentor in that way, that I'm just not able to keep up with everybody the way that I would like. Not if I want to try and get a few hours of sleep every
No,
evening.
I can certainly relate to that. Having been in broadcast, every listener that you run into is a friend, or is family to you more or less, and they've been on a journey with you for years, and they number in the thousands. And so, yeah, it's a physical impossibility to be able to do anything to connect with all of them other than what I do to connect with all of them. But so now,
That's right.
Now you've taken the foray beyond the mat, beyond the ring, beyond wrestling into acting and roles, within film and whatnot. Tell me about that and how that transpired.
Well, I'm very fortunate. For example, appeared in a British film. Oh boy, maybe going back now a couple of years, called Poison Arrow. And I feel very fortunate that some people who are just long-standing fans of some part of my work. I was lucky. I spent 10 years writing for the wrestling magazines, so there are people that only know me that way. Or I've written 10 books about professional wrestling.
Wow.
Now. There are people that only know me from my print work or my YouTube channel, Till We Make It. There's 750 tutorial videos all about pro wrestling there. Increasingly, when I meet people, they just know me as the Till We Make It guy. They've never seen a match of mine. They have no idea that I was a wrestler.
Right.
They just think I'm the guy that stands in front of this banner and gives tutorial advice. I'm very fortunate that because my career has been multifaceted, there have been different groups of people exposed to my work. And whether it's, a couple voice acting gigs I've gotten, it's just because they like the timbre of my voice. Or they're like, I saw you wrestling once and you had a very expressive face. We'd love to have you do this scene for us. I never calculated for that to be part of the makeup of my career, but I feel very lucky that it is.
It seems like to me that you take a lot of joy and satisfaction in the work that you do. And that's, so important because very few people, I feel like, experience that in their lifetime.
Yes, I often think about, could I do what some of my most famous proteges do, like for WWE or AEW, when they describe to me some of the conditions that they work under. And I often think to myself, I probably couldn't. I couldn't do the job of being a sports entertainer on SmackDown Friday nights. But I really do love what I do. And while I probably could make a whole bunch more money if I was doing it on SmackDown or whatever, I realize when I think back to like the group of friends I had in high school, there are a lot of them that they have jobs that they resent. They labor under bosses that they regard with contempt, or they find themselves in situations that leave them with stress and anxiety and all kinds of like mental and emotional baggage issues they got to contemplate. And I think, man, how fortunate am I that I picked this weird thing that I'm really passionate about and I'm able to pay my bills doing it.
It is
Maybe
amazing.
I don't have the biggest bank account, but there's an intangible here that's very difficult to put a price on, Patrick.
I think you're more than right. I've been fortunate in my career to be a broadcaster and to substantiate a living that way. And, it is one of the most amazing things to me in the world to be able to do that, So let's say that somebody is, thinking about getting into the wrestling scene. Maybe they want to, get involved in an independent division nearby, or maybe they have bigger aspirations than that. What's step one?
That's a great question. I think before you enroll for even a beginner level training class, which is going to be you getting in the ring, learning how to take those bumps by hitting the mat, learning how to run the ropes, adjusting your body, and your body will toughen against it. It will callous against it. The things you're going to feel in those first 6 to 8 weeks, it does get easier, believe me. Before you take that plunge, there are a couple things I think that you should do. Number one, any education you can do beforehand, right? Like, I know it seems like a shameless plug for my channel, Till We Make It. Learn as much as you can about the craft of wrestling. And the key distinction here is there's a moment when you must take off your fan goggles and you must be able to look at wrestling through analytical goggles. Can you analyze the performance? Can you not just, for example, watch a Sami Zayn match for your own enjoyment, but where is Sami breathing? Where's he taking his breaths here? When you can analyze that kind of stuff, you will see a whole other dimension to our art form that is often invisible when you only view it through your fan goggles. And then there's a couple things you need to do for yourself physically as well. It's always an uphill climb for someone who has no athletic background whatsoever. But you can start to put yourself through some basic athletic paces. I bet there's a gym near you where you could hire a personal trainer for a period of 6 weeks, and they're going to start to prepare your body. So while you're preparing your mind, that's watching wrestling through your analytical goggles and studying up to the best of your ability, start to prepare your body as well. Because wrestling lives neatly at this intersection of athleticism and entertainment. But underneath it is a skill set that you're going to have to master. And priming both your brain and your body to do that work will give you a massive leg up for that very first time that you step between the ropes.
And I would bet, if I'm correct, that if you're going to be the very best at being a wrestling entertainer, being able to be physically able to know when to breathe, that to be able to have some stamina is critical, because if you don't have those items, you can't be entertaining because you're too consumed with the physical toll. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely, right? There's no way you're going to bring your best performance to the ring if you can't catch your breath.
Right, right. So it sounds like that, what you're saying is before you even, reach out and go, hey, I think I want to do this. Let me have a shot at it. You need to go do some pre-work. And, it also sounds like to me you approach this in a collegiate manner, in an educational manner, that it seems as if the knowledge is as or more powerful than the physical.
Yes, absolutely. From time to time, I will get someone who turns up at the Wrestle Factory who, they believe because they've watched a lot of wrestling that they're ready to create it. And that's a lot like saying, well, I've gone to a lot of concerts, so I'm ready for my guitar solo.
Right.
Having heard all of that music does not prepare you for what it is to pick up that instrument, to wield it deftly, to be able to play it with some amount of artfulness or inspiration. It is a skill. And in the same way that you can learn to play guitar, in the same way that you could learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you'll learn the skill set of pro wrestling. But it is as much about that educational piece as it is the physical piece. Yes, your body has to be ready for the rigors of both the ring and the performance, but you've also got to train up your skill set. And that's an academic exercise. Just because you've been a lifelong wrestling fan does not mean you're in any way, shape, or form prepared to do the work. You might enjoy the work in a way that others don't because you are getting to realize something that you've always loved. And that can be very gratifying. But it would be a mistake to think that it's preparation for the job. It is not.
No, I would think that, sometimes people come in and they may have a great personality set, a lot of bravado, a lot of machismo, whatever you want to call it, but they don't understand what actually is required physically to make it work. It's more than doing your promos and a little when you get in the squared circle, it's a little more than that. It's a lot of thinking quickly because of a match, an outcome may be predetermined. There are still lots of things that occur, and you have to be in that moment without exception in order for it to work the right way. You may have something not go right. You've got to be ready to make that recovery. You've got to be ready to make that move, or you've got to anticipate, oh, he's getting ready to do this. It's time for his heat, or it's time for my shine, whatever it may be. You have to be ready for that, right?
Right, and it just comes with practice. I think when people realize how much there is to learn in wrestling, they're often intimidated by that depth of knowledge. But if you have the time to dedicate and you can put in the reps, you just get the repetitions, you can learn the craft. There's no guarantee that you're going to headline WrestleMania. But for many, that's not really the goal anyway. The goal is to be able to enjoy this thing, which has played a very positive role in their life as fans, but to enjoy it in a new way, being able to make it themselves.
I think ultimately you have to look at wrestling as you would any professional career. It requires
Yes.
a lot of planning, a lot of education, a lot of things that happen before the magic. As a matter of fact, most of it happens behind the scenes.
Absolutely. 95% of it.
Yeah.
When you think about all the dieting and meal planning that goes into it, the way that you work out, whether it's in the gym or in combination with time spent in the ring, it's the networking that you put in to find the bookings, to get the matches, the travel to get there. Like in a few weeks when I'm coming to Benton, Arkansas for Vapors Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
The 10 minutes I'll actually be in the ring is such a small percentage of that.
Right.
The other 95, 97% of it is that invisible work that people never see. But you never get to those 10 minutes without that other 97%.
Having said that, one thing that I don't have near the expertise knowledge set that you do, but we talk, Rich and I here, VCW, we talk regularly. And, one of the things that I was, sharing with him, I said, I think you guys have so much going on, but, one thing I would love to see is, what to me always sold wrestling is the drama. Anything in life, really, it's the drama, right? Whether it's music, it's a TV show, it's a movie, it's the drama you want to sell. And sometimes these guys create great costumes. They have the physicality. They know how to work in the ring. But, man, when it comes to promo time, it's hard for them to turn up and to let go of that little bit of restraint that prevents you from being that certain level that you need to be to get the attention and break through the clutter.
Right. I think there's no mistaking genuine, authentic emotion when you see and you hear it, because it's something that you can feel. And when there's a very talented speaker, I mean, I know we're talking about wrestling now, but the reality is we could be talking about any form of
Sure,
speaking.
you're right.
When somebody brings that powerful emotional charge to what they are saying, it draws you in. You want to know what happens next in the story.
Yes.
And I think the wrestling that we all love best has a piece of that baked right into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was the drama that always drew me into the match. I mean, the match was great, but it was the drama that led up to it, the reason each person was fighting for, that made it something to me. When Kerry Von Erich, was matching up against Ric Flair, there was an amazing amount of drama that goes back and forth before you ever hit that ring, and what side you stand on when you get there, and I think that's important to create a rich character for yourself that is authentic, as you say, but filled with genuine emotion and passion.
I think that's what the viewers want. It's exactly what you and I wanted from the comics that we read
Yes.
as kids, right? We got drawn into, I mean, there was no better soap opera in comics than the Chris Claremont, John Byrne run on X-Men.
That is true.
It's exactly what drew us into those kinds of things. And it's exactly those same tropes that make me love wrestling.
No, no, you're right. I mean, I think back to the days you're talking about, and I can remember, and it's not wrestling, but I can remember the battle between Cyclops and Wolverine over Jean Grey. They both loved her, they both wanted her, and most people picked a side. Either you wanted Wolverine or you wanted Cyclops to end up with her. I was a Wolverine guy, but
I was a Cyclops guy.
and
I'm
I
ready.
get that. He's the good guy. He's the good guy. He was definitely the baby face. Wolverine was the heel a lot of times. So I get that. But it is all across the board the same. So it takes physicality, it takes education, it takes commitment, it takes passion, and it takes a lot of damn heart to get in a ring and do what these guys do, doesn't it?
Right, very well said. And you kind of touched on something a moment ago that I think bears highlighting, and it is that you need to bring the seriousness that you would for any other profession to wrestling. And that is not to say that you can't enjoy wrestling in a way that maybe a traditional job doesn't provide you enjoyment. I know there are some people, they kind of think of wrestling almost as being somewhat therapeutic. And if you happen to get that as a bonus of sorts from the work, that's great. But that can't be the purpose of the work. The purpose of the work, like you said, requires the serious-mindedness of a professional, because underneath it, we are providing something to our paying customers. There was the era of wrestling when I was breaking in the mid-90s. There was still this contentiousness between wrestlers and their fans, right? Right. The insider terminology that dates back all the way to the 1860s was mark. It was a carnival term, basically. It meant someone gullible.
Right.
And pro wrestlers saw their fans in that light, as these gullible people to be fleeced for their money before the show moves on to the next town. And I think there's something kind of despicable about viewing your paying customers in such a light.
Yes.
Right? These people are giving us their hard-earned money. They are taking their time to come and spend with us and to go through all the claptrap. They got to try and find parking, and where is this venue I've never been to, and they're going to wait in the line to get in their tiny little seat in a sweaty little building to watch us do our thing. These people are not to be regarded with contempt. They are the whole reason we are fortunate enough to call ourselves professional wrestlers. And you've got to bring a level of seriousness to that professional transaction, because if we don't regard our customers with that level of respect, I think what we will discover is there are fewer and fewer of them who will pay to see us.
Well, you're right. Number one, I often joke, it takes a lot for me to look as dumb as I do. I have to do a lot of work on it, and because, we, as a radio personality, the theater there is you appear to be coming off the cuff a lot. But oftentimes you've thought about it, you've thought through it, you've researched it, you know where you're going with it. But you got to deliver, and what you're saying is really poignant as far as what it takes to make it and to do it, and so if you don't treat it, look, it may be you may be wearing spandex pants, you may be wearing a silly costume, you may do silly things, but the business is not silly.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. Man, what a great opportunity, today to speak to you, man. I'm so excited that I had a chance to. Now, you'll be here for May 3rd for the big event, right? Is that right, when you're coming down?
Yeah, I cannot wait. I'll be down for Vapors Championship Wrestling in Benton, Arkansas, and I am fortunate enough to be going one-on-one with Ray Ivy, the incredibly talented Ray Ivy.
What an amazing guy he is. You want to talk about a high flyer, a committed human being, someone who's done all the things we just talked about to be where he's at. He's one of them, man. He's a true champion.
I have such admiration for Ray, and I'm really looking forward to the chance to trade holds with him, and I hope that everyone will come out to see us. This is my first time ever performing in Arkansas. So one, I'm delighted to be checking this one off the list.
Right.
Trying real hard to get all 50 states, but I'm even more thrilled that VCW saw fit to put me in the ring with Ray Ivy. I can't wait.
Man, that is exciting. Well, man, we look forward, Mike, to having you out here. Can't wait to shake your hand in person, and thank you for coming and doing this, and thanks for taking time out of your day to be part of the podcast.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Patrick. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great day, Mike. Thanks, man.
You too.
All right. All right, and we are back. Welcome back to Patrick and the People, the Wednesday edition. We got Amanda in the house, Rich in the house. Great interview with Mike Quackenbush.
I love Rich.
Mike's
It's Woohoo Wednesday.
Right.
Mike's a pretty interesting guy, man. He's done
really
a lot of
is.
stuff, but he's
is,
very
man. He's
passionate about his craft, and I respect anybody that has that kind of passion in their craft. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Listen, if you are looking for a vehicle, Fitz Auto is a great place to get one. Late models, low miles. Even if you've had credit problems, they can help you out. Check them out at fitzauto.com. Also, be sure and go by Stone's Throw Brewing over at 402 East 9th Street. Theron Cash owns that. A great guy. He's been on the show many times. Matter of fact, we need to get him back on here.
Yes.
Always has the best draft beer in town. So go check him out. He should be there every Monday because he has $5 crowlers. And they got food. They got everything. They do trivia, all kinds of stuff. So be sure and check that out as well. And if you are, for any reason, in need of an attorney for a civil or criminal reason, or contract law for that matter, real estate law, RigginLaw.com. That's what you want to do, Riggin Law. It's Kristen Riggin in Benton. She has been on the show. You've met her. She's about as down to earth as it gets. And you know what? When you have an attorney, you'd like to have somebody that you don't feel like is talking down to you.
Right.
Someone that's actually, there to help you, not just collect some money and some facts and show up for that last hour. You know what I'm talking about, Yeah, Kristen's great, so check her
I've had too
out.
many effing lawyers.
I hear you.
Little doggy said, "Real good interview again."
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
They were actually there was a lot of comments about that interview.
Yeah.
Well, what were people saying?
Let me scroll back
You-
up here. Something.
you might
Why
have
is
a-
this
you might have a
mic
match.
So like
Here,
hot.
I'll turn it down a little bit for
You
you.
might,
what
you
is
might have a
going on?
match
right
coming
exactly.
up, Patrick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. You and little doggy.
Yeah, he said, a little doggy said, this man's trying to talk me into wrestling, Patrick. And then he's
Yeah.
like, no, I won't wrestle. So,
He wants to real bad. I
Exactly.
think.
He all caps won't, which we
Yeah.
all know means he desperately wants to.
He
have a-
definitely Mike wants to do it.
we
yeah.
could have a Patrick, little doggy,
a
dark
match.
match or something.
Oh,
A
yeah,
dark
man.
match. What does that
What's
mean?
a dark match?
So a dark match normally happens kind of before the event. Kicks
Oh.
So it's like, it's kind of when
It's
everybody's
not part of
coming
the
in and
televised-
filling in
Foreplay.
and it's kind of the test out of the
Foreplay.
ring, be sure everything's,
yeah.
hooked up right.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
So if something happens, it's early on the guys that die and nobody has to see that. So
Yeah. No, I got you. I understand.
Dang.
I'm
that's
just kidding
why
about
it's
that last
dark.
part,
No,
but
you're
yeah.
not.
I got you. All right, a couple stories here that I'm certain that
Are they dark?
we're going to have comment with. Could be, not in this case. Of all the hazards you might face at the golf course, a parking lot affair by the recycling bin wasn't on the scorecard for Skylinks at Buchanan Fields in California. For the business, a public 9-hole course, in this case 10, in East Bay, the biggest.
12 if you're doing it right.
The biggest drama of the season didn't come from a bunker or a blown putt. It came from
a
two.
blown putt.
That's America. Who wrote this? I'm loving it.
It's come from two parked cars in the far corner of the lot where an alleged weekly hookup had transformed the family-friendly fairway into a full-blown soap opera. An Instagram post from the course lit up social media last week, said to the late 30s married wife in the black car who's having a secret affair with the guy in the smaller silver car who's decided to use the back right corner of our Skylinks car park to meet weekly, please stop. If it happens again, we'll drop the footage and watch all hell break loose.
Yes.
We're a family golf course, not some Jerry Springer family destruction zone.
We're not the putt-putt place.
Dr. Phil would suggest to go home and have an honest chat with the person who really needs to hear it.
Communication rules the nation.
That is probably one of the greatest
That is
post I've read.
That
That's
has
such
to
a
be.
strong ass post on that.
That is
That is
great.
so
But-
good.
and they're going to the golf course to bang.
I want to follow this story.
There
Are
was-
they keeping it up on their Twitter or something? Because
Oh, they keeping
Well,
it up.
Where is the Reddit
Well,
subthread
I would
for
I would
this?
assume they've relocated at this point. I would hope they. You know what? Here's the
I
thing.
expect them to be like, they're surely not talking
Hold
about
on.
us.
They need to
But you
join
know-
the PGA Tour.
Hold on. Everybody who lives in that area. Now I think this is this Australia, but wherever it may be.
Oh.
Everybody who lives in
was
that
South
area.
Carolina.
No, it's California. Everybody who lives in that area all of a sudden is like, okay, a small silver car. Which
Right.
who
Yeah.
husband?
am I?
Which
They're
husband?
Can I get a model?
They're
Yeah.
looking.
They're looking at their husband's
Yeah.
car. Is that a small silver car?
Yeah, they're
Well,
looking.
You know.
They're looking.
And then every guy whose wife has a black
car,
is
black
like
sedan.
married woman.
All right.
Okay.
Black sedan.
So where were you
Country
yesterday?
club.
Yeah. Somebody's going to have to confess. It's going to happen.
Wow.
That's
Out in the open now.
Why would you choose to do
are-
it there though?
I mean,
If you were a private investigator in California,
Oh my God.
think of all the
Raise
interesting
your
like
rates right now.
things you could say. You know, like kind of brings a whole new meaning to like.
Well,
or
No, you can do all kinds of
just
golf.
get in the hole. Just go home. Go.
Yeah, no,
Well-
you could use all kinds of golf puns there.
You could go.
There's some great ones about the shaft and the club and all that. But
washing your balls.
yeah, but
PGA should start talking to like OnlyFans or something. Get some sponsorship.
Might
Might increase viewership.
Yeah, I think they do all right.
What,
I think
PGA?
yeah, I think they do fine.
On viewers?
Yeah, you don't think they do all right?
I mean,
idea.
for like the demographic of between
Old white.
70 and
Well,
dead.
who were you trying to draw into it?
Well, I'm just saying exactly. They could draw in a whole new audience.
Oh, well, I guess.
Well, I
so.
mean, I feel like there's some overlap there.
yeah,
I mean, look at what Happy Gilmore did
I'm-
for golf.
yeah, no, I mean, he did a lot for it. He did a lot. Who is it
Not
that
as
just
much as
won the
Sugar.
other day? Who was it that won the other day? Rory
Some
McIlroy.
guy.
But there was another one that won that he kind of is like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what his name is, but he's kind of fun. He's a real popular golfer. All right, so let's move past.
Oh, Latasha said she loves the internet. She said the stories you find, my favorite page is, she said she loves the internet and the stories you find. Her favorite page is Are We Dating the Same Guy?
Oh,
/
that's
girl
such a
pages.
great place. Yeah, it's a great entertainment place to go. Yeah, they're ruthless there. All right, so here you go. You want to pay attention. This is the story out of Australia.
Okay.
This is a unique. You're going to learn something new today
About Australia?
about everything, about the world, about,
About
life,
life.
about life today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is as 2025 as it gets. So, on social media, they have these challenges, right? I mean, it's been going on for years. That's not new.
Cinnamon, Tide Pods, Ice
Sure,
Bucket.
you name it. This is a new
Whatever
challenge.
stupid thing
It's
they
called
come
the
up with.
Carrot
Anal.
Challenge.
The what?
Oh, I saw this!
It's the Carrot Challenge. Now, I
Man,
guess
that's
that
excited.
I guess that
saw this.
on the Australian only fans, we've reached the vegetable insertion era.
Oh, God.
According to the internet streets,
Screets.
that's right, the streets. An Australian OnlyFans model was hospitalized after attempting something called the Carrot Challenge. What is the Carrot Challenge? Well, it involves a carrot, no recipes, and maybe a level of self-confidence that
Cough.
is both admirable and maybe disturbing. Produce meets
Maybe unfounded.
gynecology unit.
And
You know-
proctology unit.
This is I haven't watched the video.
Okay, but here is this is her right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich, look at this. Watch the video. Like that's
What in
that's what she.
Yeah, so she put these carrot.
And those aren't like.
Well, apparently.
No, those are
those are-
I think those are
aren't-
models of. I don't know if that's
those
what
are
she
plugs.
used.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
flared
But-
base.
Yeah, it looks to be.
Because I was
But
like,
anyway,
that
but
doesn't
apparently
look like an actual carrot.
Somehow this
But
carrot
she's real.
got
Like
lost
what?
in there.
What?
Yeah. That is correct. No, the carrot was
The
no
carrot
longer.
got lost
It was
in
not retrievable.
No, she had to go to the hospital.
It was not retrievable.
and had significant internal damage.
It's
From
like
what
one
I
of those
understand.
episodes of
I don't
what is
know
it,
whether
sent
there
me
was
to the ER or
significant.
I
whatever.
could've
I
sworn
don't know
they
the
said
follow
something
up
about
on that, but
some internal damage.
I'm just saying. I mean, maybe that's not
Maybe
the right
don't.
vegetable.
Maybe.
Maybe there's no right vegetable. If there were, you know what it'd be because you have an emoji for it.
It
right.
doesn't have a flared base either.
No, it doesn't. But yeah, that's not a good idea. What are you thinking, man?
Why?
What is this, a Bugs Bunny
And they
thing?
say
Who
guys are
started
gonna die
this
soon.
challenge? Is there a
Seriously.
carrot challenge? Are
I
people?
think she started it.
You think
and
she started
ended it.
and ended it at the same time? Yeah. I don't understand the
In
vegetables, man.
Australia.
That is true. Even the carrots are trying to kill you in Australia. That's what we've now learned. Yeah.
The root vegetables that the
That's
Team
right.
Americans probably infested their country with.
Yeah,
know,
the tame things.
I've never ever liked carrot cake.
You know what this means? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hey, I got something for you. This is a listener song from Brad Elkins is his name. And here you go. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Born in the shadow of 100 years, drowned in the weight of the loss and the tears. Gold on the field. Born in the shadow of 100 years, drowned in the weight of the loss and the tears. Gold on the field, black cat in the stands. Every season slipping through all our hands. But we kept fighting, we kept the faith. Through the pain, through the weight. The ivy whispers, the crowd ignites. Wrigley rising in the night. We are Cubs, we won't fall. Break the chains, we'll take it all. Blood and thunder, hear us roar. The curse is dead, it lives no more. Ninth inning, 2 outs hard in my throat. Bartman's ghost still clings to my coat. But the fire inside, it never dies. Under these lights, we take back our sky. We kept swinging, we kept the fight. Through the drought, through the night. No more ghost, no more pain. The trophy shines in the rain. We are Cubs, we won't fall. Break the chains, we'll take it all. Blood and thunder, hear us roar. The curse is dead, it lives no more. Everywhere, break down. 108 years, we paid in sweat. Every regret, every last bet. But the goat is gone, the past erased. Now watch us storm this fucking place. Cubs win! Cubs win! Fly on the W! Fly on the W!
Going to be able to hear in about 2 years. He's going to be completely deaf listening to that song. That is an in-your-face rock song, man, right
Absolutely.
there. Good job, Brad. He
Seriously.
said, "No, I appreciate you sending that in. We've got other ones we'll be playing that we've got loaded into the system too. So, yeah, that's right, loaded into the system. As a reminder, that we are going to be on the blocks. That is an Amazon Prime reality show. It is about entrepreneurs, and they ask us to take part in it. So that's May 13th through 19th that Gunner and I are going to go up there and represent Patrick and the people and the show and, try to do our thing and see what happens, So we're super excited about it.
Awesome, man.
We still have a GoFundMe up if you want to help. You had some great help yesterday. I wish I remembered off the top of my head who did it. I apologize because I slept, but I will make sure to get you credit. But somebody donated $100 yesterday.
Awesome.
So that's very kind of you. It's just covering our travel expenses, our hotel, everything else when we're there is taken care of. And so we'll be gone for a week and. All the cast.
So we all get to have a week of vacation, right?
No, y'all are going to keep doing the show on your own, and because that's what we're going to do around here. And so, but hopefully, I'll be able to update you guys with some video as we go through. We'll be there for a week in Tulsa. At the Osage Casino. That's where we're
Nice.
And so that's where we're going to stay at, and that's where we're shooting the show. It's they just did their 14th season, so I guess we're going to be the 15th season of the show.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
That's
It's
awesome.
a well-established program. It's on Amazon Prime, so this is a big win for us. So if you can throw $10, $5 in the bucket, any dollar, 50 cents, it doesn't matter. We're very, very thankful for that. Period. It's just you never know. I think anybody who gets on a reality show would be lying to tell you they don't want to get noticed.
Oh yeah,
And so,
I mean absolutely. Well, and that's
I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh no, I don't want to be. Hell yeah, I want to be noticed.
Right.
So I told.
I mean, it's almost reality shows and even at that game shows have almost become the new way to really break into Hollywood.
At least break into. A network of things you can do to
Right.
earn money as an entertainer, so to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because people like your persona, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I know I have to turn up for Amazon Prime, and I don't mean obnoxiously or anything. I just mean I have to be firing on all cylinders and giving all of my personality without, being so. Sometimes I'm a little more.
a little much.
No, I'm a little more reserved.
Oh, I
at
got you.
times, I try to
Feel out
not
the room
overtake
and
a
read.
room.
Right.
Well, I'm not. Can I come in and command a room? I feel like yes, but do I normally try to do it? No, not unless I'm doing stand up. I just want to be hanging out with everybody. I like to hear people
Right.
as much as I like to ever talk because it's more interesting to hear about their lives.
Right.
And so as a result of that, I like to shut my mouth a lot and hear, what they do or what their life's about because it's fascinating to me.
Absolutely.
But so in this case, though, it's kind of like doing a job interview
Gotcha. Okay.
because, I got to turn up because I got to get the attention of,
Of
whatever
everybody,
other
right.
reality show producer is watching and go, hey, that old dude right there. He's fun.
Right.
Get that dude. I want him on the show.
Absolutely.
That would be exciting.
Well, and I mean, with any reality show too, like it's gonna be edited. They're gonna cut. It's not
Yeah.
just gonna be everybody. So you want to be sure that some parts of your personality make it into those clips at some.
That's
point.
right. Yeah, because you only have so much FaceTime, and I don't know how many diary rooms,
Right.
that you get. If they, I don't know how many each person, how much FaceTime,
Right.
how that's going to play out.
Right, right.
So I just feel like, well, I gotta make my own path. And so that's going to be fun.
I agree.
It's real interesting because I've just been thinking a lot. I've been watching it a lot and thinking about the psychology of it. I'm thinking about, okay, so how can I approach this? What happens if this happens? What do I do here? And I've tried to think of the things I think I might encounter.
Right.
And anticipate it. It's hard, when you're in those moments like that. and it's live,
Right.
sometimes your brain won't keep up. It doesn't process as fast as the moment's going. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying when I say that?
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Expert
I appreciate you leaving me. No, it's a professional
Wendy wants to know.
pronounce-
She says, can she be on the show while you're on the block?
Of course.
I guess the Patrick and the
Blocks,
people-
Blox.
Blocks,
Yeah,
Blocks.
that's all right.
Like the bidet.
Yeah. Like Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Yeah, blocks.
You know what I'm saying.
I does.
Yeah, I does.
Yeah, I
Anyways.
does.
No,
So-
man, but it's gonna be an interesting experience all around for you, man.
Well,
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, myself and Gunnar both.
Absolutely.
It is a super exciting experience. I mean, just to be asked to do it was, I mean, they reached out to
That's
us,
so
which is
insane.
Well-
cool. We didn't apply.
Yeah.
It's not like we went out, I went and applied for Survivor.
Right.
And got
No, see, I
to-
didn't know that. So the blocks
Yeah.
reached out to
They reached
That's
out to
awesome.
us.
as Patrick and the people.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And so that's how it all started. Now at Survivor, I put my application in I did the video.
Right.
And then I went to the semifinals. I guess I was in
Semis.
I guess it was the semifinals. If I'd gotten the next call, I was on.
Okay.
And the only reason what they basically intimated was that normally they cast for 2 seasons.
Right.
They were only casting for 1.
Okay.
And so I saw the person that would have been in my spot when I started watching Survivor, this season, and I was like, that would have been me right there.
Right.
But I did myself the same way. I realized after the fact, I interviewed, and I feel like, if I'm being honest, I think he threw me a couple bones, and I didn't pick. I
didn't pick it up.
I didn't pick it up the way I should have picked it up.
Right.
I didn't turn up a little bit.
Right.
Because that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, they want you to be
They
over
need
the
you
top.
to break through a little bit.
Right.
But you got to balance the scale. They don't want you completely nut crazy.
Yeah.
But they want you to be a little
little extra, yeah. Yeah.
And so when I thought about it, I was like, man, yeah, I probably played it too professional.
Yeah.
I probably answered, very
Yeah.
meticulously, very thought out, very, like I would do right now. Instead of just being more akin to the angry Patrick character, but I leaned a little into that,
Yeah.
not too much, not all the
Right,
way,
right.
but just a smidge into that.
So just go in every day and just rant the hell out of them, man.
yeah, so yeah,
I've got a question. Are
Yeah.
y'all like sequestered at the casino? Are y'all stuck there? Are they going to take y'all
no,
out on outings?
I don't think that we're stuck there. As a matter of fact, I think that unlike other shows, I think I have access to my business, my show, whatever. I think they understand that they're working people, so they're not preventing you from doing that. I don't know if they allow you to be on
Walking
your
around
phone.
privileges.
I don't think during shooting.
Yeah.
But I think after
Okay,
shooting, they're probably like, yeah, don't bring your phone
You
to
got
the
some
shoot.
NDAs
There's
and stuff
no,
like that.
you're not going to be video, and you're not going to
Yeah.
be doing this
Well-
and that during the live show or
Yeah.
live video.
Yeah.
And you
No
had said
stream.
with it that this isn't like a reality show where people get voted off every episode.
No,
or anything.
no, it's
like
very-
everybody's there from start to finish.
It's very different. It's what they do is they bring in X number of entrepreneurs. I don't remember that exact number.
Right.
But so these entrepreneurs all are representing their own brands, and you may be a startup.
Right.
You may be a company that is just a new company, or you may be more of a startup, concept that's just happening.
I got you. Okay.
So you in that range.
All different levels.
Yeah, of the spectrum, right? And so then what happens is they take you and you go to during this each day you go into the meeting room or whatever, and there's a particular thing that you're focusing on. All right, for example, marketing. All right, so today the theme may be marketing for your company.
Gotcha, okay.
And so they're going to give their overview. Here's what we think marketing is. Here's what we are asking you to do. All right, so then you and X number of these entrepreneurs are put into a group with a mentor who is already a very, 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 very successful human being. Very. Let me add a couple more in there. I mean, these people are
The vary's got to match the
Very.
they're
zeros.
super successful. You know what I'm saying? And so then you focus on, what you're going to do, because one person gets to do the presentation, for the group or for the team or whatever it's going to be for the company, each company.
Okay.
And you get up and you make that pitch, and whoever makes the best pitch, the top three, win something each day. And then you go to the end, you can win several $1,000s for the business. But it's
and
still,
the
it's each
experience.
thing. Yeah. Each thing is
And
a
the
different.
knowledge that you're getting.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
is priceless.
Well, and who knows, just like I said, I mean, look, just like a producer, maybe you meet a mentor.
Exactly.
And that mentor's like, man, you're kind of a dope person, man. I might want you to work for me.
Right.
Yeah, I might want to.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know. I mean, shit, what do you need? Yeah, I could be that guy. I'm a Kool-Aid getter, whatever. I can do whatever. So yeah, no, I'm saying, I
Kool-Aid
mean,
was
you never know what door will open up, and so you have to be ready.
Absolutely.
And so, but it is super
awesome.
exciting
That is so cool.
because it is a very different kind of show.
Well, and and like you said, it opens up endless opportunities for what could come
Well,
of
and
it.
that's not even to mention just the exposure our show is getting,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
which
yeah.
is, just that.
Right.
So many different facets
Yeah.
of this that are, for me, super dope.
I mean, like we were talking about the other day, for all you know, you could come out of this and Amazon says, hey, we want to feature Patrick and the People on Amazon.
Who knows? I mean, I don't know. Again, it comes down to, I mean, look, I always learned when I worked at companies that the first person I ever made friends with is the person at the front desk. The
Yes.
second person I'm going to make friends with is the janitor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truly. Because it's important to make friends with everybody and to be, you know what I'm
Be
saying?
on the same level. Be a
So
human being.
because of that, I feel like I have more contact with people,
Right.
Absolutely.
and
Authentic contact.
yeah, and so I'm not just looking for contact with, the guy
CFO.
Wes from, the challenge or the CFO, but
Yeah.
maybe this camera guy who's standing back here,
Right.
or maybe this producer that's standing over here,
Camera guy.
or this showrunner that's right here,
Right,
or
right.
because you
Be a
never know
writer.
who a writer. It could be
Yes.
anybody. I mean, I do write.
Right.
I mean, you never know what could materialize if you're if you're in the orbit and you're open to what could happen.
Absolutely.
And you're not pigeonholing yourself that this is the only path I'm looking for. And I'm looking at every door that can open.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna try to,
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
I'm a testament to that with you. Like,
Yeah.
how we met, really, man.
Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely. No, that's absolutely true. I mean, again, that's exactly right. I mean, we met at an event.
yeah, that I was announcing it. I just
Yeah,
came
that
up
you
to
were
you and
announcing
said,
that,
hey, you're
and we
a
started
longtime fan, man. Listen
Yeah.
to me announce. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, we visited, and then boom, So yeah, I mean, but it's always been that way for me that I love meeting people,
Right.
and so I'm just hopeful that I if I go in here and make authentic connections with human beings,
That it'll-
something good will result from that.
Absolutely.
That's my formula in life, I think.
I mean,
Other than try to be funny and dumb.
even if something, no matter what, something good, that's what I'm trying to say. No matter what, something good is going to come.
Yes, no.
Because even
without
if
a
it
doubt.
doesn't benefit you, that person that is just the showrunner, maybe, going into this thinking, man, all these business people, they're just going to be, complete jackasses and demanding and blah, 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 and nobody's going to pay attention to me. And then you come up and say, hey, what's up? And it changes their whole outlook or something,
Yeah. No, I mean, I hope you're exactly right. Governor Hot Wheels says Patrick wouldn't make it on Survivor. Man, now, listen, let me tell you about that.
Yeah, you would.
Okay, I would, for sure. But second of all, I've thought about it, and I was telling Laura the other day, I said, listen, if I got cast on Survivor, if they said, yeah, you're going to be on this season, that afternoon, I'm going to start learning every possible way to make fire without a flint. I'm going to be
How
the
to purify
fire
water.
king. No, I'm going to be the fire
Oh, you're
king.
gonna be the fire
I'm going to be
king.
the fire. I don't
Damn
need your
straight.
flint, Jeff. Okay,
Jeff.
I got a fire. I'll start a fire on my own. I don't need
Yeah.
your damn flint.
Yeah, Jeff.
And that's how I'm going to.
You're gonna you'll figure out
That's
all
how I'll
the,
lock myself in
the
because.
edible plants.
Yep, that's the number three
yep,
thing.
yep.
Is what plants can I eat
Yep.
on Fiji? Because there are plants out there in the wild that are safe to eat.
Yep.
I ain't got to be hungry like everybody
Nope.
else. I'm gonna go find mine.
Yeah. You might even have some fun. You might find a special plant.
You know,
or a
hey, one
special
never
frog.
knows if you find
You
a
know,
frog and you
lick a
just want
frog.
to,
Just lick
see
it.
what it tastes
Yeah,
like. I mean, I
you
don't
never
know.
know. I don't know.
You don't.
No. Well, once you're out there for a minute, I mean, you might. Get
I would never
bored.
survive on Survivor. Not in a million.
No, I
miles.
definitely
I wouldn't
would.
either because I wouldn't apply.
Let's see what is.
I'm delicate.
Let's see. If you knew how long Patrick wanted to be on Survivor, you wouldn't doubt him. In fact, just never doubt him, and you'll be safe. Thank you, little doggy. That's funny. It is true. I've wanted to do it for a long time. But now I have to be the old guy, but I'm fine with that. I'm
okay.
good with that.
People underestimate the old guy.
They do.
Luke is hijacking the comments.
What's Luke doing? What did Luke say?
He said, "Everyone, let's drop some horses in the chat so Patrick has enough support horses for the show." And then, everybody is now just sending emotional support horses.
Yeah, we're calling back to a show a few days
Speaking of-
ago. No, that's great. Luke.
He did say something that he was. I was looking for the comment here. Yeah, here it is. Working on some new Vantage ruins today. Got y'all going in my truck on the way to the studio.
Oh, that's dope,
so-
man. Yeah, man. He's got that Vantage Ruins guy. Man, I'm stoked. Yeah.
Speaking about which, we are
Yeah.
just a couple of weeks away. I hear from. Caught up with John Bailey.
Oh,
the
this
other
is
day over
this is
text.
big news.
And John Bailey and the Heathen Revival. That
Yeah.
video for tattoos is going to be dropping in the next few weeks. So.
And they're going to come on, right?
Yeah, they are going to come on the show here and chat with us.
Man, I'm so excited. We were fortunately, again, this is the kind of stuff I feel like that when it's called Patrick and the People, this is the why to me of it. Because
Right.
so John Bailey, I met him through a circumstance via Luke Shoemaker, okay? Because Alex, if you don't know, is the guitarist in both bands,
Okay.
Vantage Ruins and John Bailey and the Heathen Revival, okay?
Gotcha.
So then, got to know him through the show, and we've all shared his stuff and stayed in touch and whatnot. And then they kind of had a need they had a video concept where a wrestling ring or a boxing or wrestling ring
Right.
was something they wanted to have in it prominently.
Right.
And so who did they know? Well, they reached out to us and said, "Do you think Rich could?" And Rich did.
Oh yeah.
And so,
Absolutely.
and then they said, "Hey, do you want to come in and do a part?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do a little part with you, And if I made the cut, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm on the editing floor, and I would not be mad. But
I thought it was.
Are you wearing
oh no,
your
I brought my A list.
Yeah.
No, the A list was brought. When you see it,
Did you wear
if
your
I do it.
pants?
Which ones? No, I
wrestling
wasn't
pants?
doing that. No, it was a different.
No, I mean,
kind
but
of
he had the whole, the limo rolled up, the red carpet fell out of the door.
Yeah, it was
That
everything.
Patrick-
But no, it was great. It was a great video shoot.
It was, man. That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
That was.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that's how it all came about, that they were like, "Hey, do you think Rich
Yeah.
would?" I was amazed to get the call. I was.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, for sure. I said, get a hold of Rich if he can do it. For sure, I bet he would.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
man, that was-
It all worked out well for everybody, and that's the beauty of it. If you just work cooperatively,
Right.
and we can all lift each other up and help each
that's-
other out, and that's the best way to rock. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Screw the other stuff.
I agree, man.
There's enough people stabbing each other in the back in the world. You know what I mean? All right. So, hey, you said you did put that other song up there, right?
I believe so. Yeah. It should be on. Should be on your page 3.
Oh, on page 3?
Yeah, I
See, I
think.
got to scroll over real quick, y'all, and see here. I'm trying to find.
What
Yeah,
in
no.
the world was that?
That was her pushing.
Oh, the little button thing.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So, I want to take a quick break, but this song is a little different. Look, this might be, I'm not sure if this is a polarizing song. could be a love it or hate it song. I'm not sure.
All right.
I do like it because it conceptually delivered. It didn't execute it perfectly, but it got very close to the concept that I had when I wrote this song. It was a weird moment. I was like, I think I'm going to do like a Romeo and Juliet with a robot.
What?
You know, I know it sounds weird, right? It sounds a little weird.
Have you
So
been,
I
were
wrote,
you looking a frog when you came up with this?
no. I wanted to write a song from the perspective of it's about a robot or an automatron or a humanoid robot, whatever you want to call him,
robots.
who has to take himself out because he knows that he's not supposed to have a feeling. You know what I mean?
Oh wow, that's dark AF.
But it's cool. I mean, it's a good vibe song.
You should
I mean,
write that. That should be your next book.
Do you need an emotional support?
Man,
coach?
listen, it's just a goddamn song.
The butt plug's right there.
Yeah, no, we're not doing anything like that.
It has a
So
flared
here
base.
we're gonna do this first, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna play.
boo.
this song. Yeah, shut y'all down.
It built with alloy and high-tech microchips, silicone skin and unparalleled grip, equipped with only state-of-the-art hydrogen battery powers my heart. All functions normal, initiate AI spectrum. Of course it's without a doubt I'm made with bolts and screws. Functionality is what I'm about. So what explains my feelings for you? Memory loaded and intact. I came off the assembly line from Quadrant 301 Blue, manufactured by Cyberdyne. Every part installed brand new. Diagnostics indicate all systems fine, but something must be wrong because I'm in love with you. Diagnostics re-engaged. I'm not programmed for emotion, but my circuits are flooded with feelings. My sensors detect no corrosion. In no way should I find you appealing. Rescan for errors. I have no glands that make me sweat. Nothing in my coding to create desire. So why does the back of my neck feel wet and my processor feel like fire? No moisture detected. I came off the assembly line from Quadrant 301 Blue, manufactured by Cyberdyne. Every part installed brand new. Diagnostics indicate all systems fine, but something must be wrong because I'm in love with you. Should I return to 301 Blue? Deposit myself in the crush station. I find myself just looking at you. Surely this is some mutation. Welcome back, Model 69701. Let me just give myself to the robot arms from above. Being dismantled is all I can do. It's the only way to fight love. Activate Crusher. I came off the assembly line from Quadrant 301 Blue, manufactured by Cyberdyne. Every part installed brand new. Diagnostics indicate all systems fine, but something must be wrong because I'm in love with you. Goodbye, you'll live worse. Goodbye, factory. Goodbye to unreal dreams about you and me. And I just wanna tell you before I'm gone that system erased.
if it was produced properly by a real talented producer, it could be a jam. It could be an interesting thing. It's just it was fun.
It really could, and honestly, I could see it going the route of like, was it American Idiot, and become like a musical play or something like.
It kind of, I wanted to get
End up on Broadway.
kind of a Nine Inch Nails-ish vibe.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that.
There was absolutely parts in it that were just sick. Just as far as the beat or the transition.
The beats and stuff and transitions are
yeah.
good. I have to credit AI. Now, don't get it twisted. I used 10 or 12 versions before I got to that one. Sometimes, like, I don't know what it is about this particular program, but God, damn, maybe it's words I use. It loves to spit country songs out. And I have to fight it to not spit country songs out. And I do like some country songs. I make some. But I'm like, sometimes if I just put rock, can it just be rock and not
just
country?
be rock, yeah.
But it's always going to default to country when I put rock, which is weird,
So, if Luke is still in the chat, I have something to add to the a new thing to add to the emotional support horse since that's been so popular.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just reading this. So apparently on April 20th, a man in a Miami International Airport was caught by TSA trying to sneak a python that he had stuffed in his pants through security. And when they asked him about it, he said it's his emotional support snake.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
The snake escaped during screening, slithering through the checkpoint and causing a brief panic. So
Yeah, no, I
now we
would
have
imagine.
emotional support snakes.
I mean, if I was standing next to him in line and I just glance and his crotch is doing this, I'm going to be like, man, I don't know what's going on with Yeah, something's wrong here, man. Check this cat. Somebody frisk this guy,
Where's his other hand?
So did the snake came out the leg of his pants or something?
I guess so. Yeah, it just said it was a post on X, but
Yeah, it's time to leave the terminal. Just run.
the X
Just
post
turn
called
around.
it "Snakes on a Plane," the prequel.
Yeah, no, it's the before it was. That's a funny movie.
It is a really fun
It is. It's a funny movie. I mean, it's bad. It's cheesy, but it was meant to be.
It was horrible.
They sold that so much. Do you remember when that was hyped up?
I'm tired of these mother. Yeah.
Snakes on these.
That was in songs and everything,
Oh no,
man.
it's
Like
cult
that
classic
was.
now. It's probably so watched on streaming. It's probably unbelievable.
Yeah.
Speaking of robots, on Saturday, Beijing hosted the first ever half marathon race between humanoid robots and human runners. The 13.1 mile foot race had 21 robotic competitors, had to follow two basic rules. They had to resemble a human, and they had to have the ability to walk or run. For the robot, the top finishing time was 2 hours and 40 minutes. The top human was 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Okay.
So humans still smoke the robots.
So no
We're not-
worries yet about them
We're not-
infiltrating the Olympics.
It's not full Terminator yet.
Okay.
They can't
Yet.
keep up with you. If they're that slow, you're going to get away from them.
Grateful, right?
Yeah. Now, right now, give it 10
Right
years.
now, oh,
Give
yeah.
it 10 years, and
little sketchy.
But now you've got them. Look, they're independently. They're powered enough that they can run by themselves in a race, not plugged in, not tethered to anything. I mean, we're getting real close here to some things, aren't we? Where do you see these humanoid robots being used the most, other than in a back room somewhere for naughty reasons? Where do you see them? Do you think, Amanda, being used the most?
Back room for naughty reasons.
Besides that, yes.
I really don't know. I mean, other than maybe replacing, counter workers at even more at restaurants, at fast food
Okay.
restaurants,
Okay.
replacing more factory workers. I mean, that's the first thing that pops into mind for me.
I could see, factory automation to some
Yeah.
extent. I could see some of the more basic labor jobs, that are out there. You could see it doing something like
Trash collectors or something, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could have a
Robot
a
hops
robot.
off the dumpster.
Yeah, why couldn't you?
Absolutely.
I mean, that would be absolutely not that I want to, put any trash guy out of a
No,
job.
not at all.
But I'm just saying that is probably a
viable-
great example,
Right.
Because it's a repetitive function. It only needs to really know those basic functions.
Right.
It's always going to be pretty much the same.
Yep.
So that's a job it probably could do.
Yeah.
You know, and no matter how many times the truck stops, he's not going to get mad. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's not going to stop to go through the trash and see if he wants
And
it.
and he won't care that, all the kids while he's collecting trash are throwing eggs at him. And
No, it
You
wouldn't
know
go
they ain't
that
throwing
way.
eggs.
No, there's
Yeah, not in this day and age.
no, that's too expensive. Now you
Way
get your
too
ass
expensive.
beat. I wish my kid would throw an egg, get their
Yeah.
ass beat
Like,
today.
okay.
Do you know how much that egg costs?
Might be fighting off a crackhead for whatever copper. or
Copper.
anything is in
That's
it,
right.
you know?
Speaking of fighting, this is
Oh, speaking of crackheads.
this story is really interesting. As the Connecticut bear population surges in recent years, a controversy is brewing over whether the state has to allow bear hunters to cull the animals' numbers. Now the legislators are demand an explanation after a father was arrested and charged with killing a bear in defense of his family. It says that Todd Topics 39 told the local broadcaster WFSB that he believed he had to act when a black bear entered his garage, raided his trash within feet of his two kids, and was then chased up a tree by his dog. He said he fired warning shots at the bear, chased it into the woods, only to realize afterwards that he did hit the bear and kill it accidentally. But the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection charged him with illegal taking of a bear, sending him to a mandatory rehab to dismiss it.
What?
So we were all threatened. It entered our home. I have no idea why they ended up charging me for this. He's a veteran. Some are asking, what the hell's going on? They won't comment on the case at all.
Yeah, that's.
He moved to Connecticut from Florida a year ago, said the incident occurred last August. He was taking a nap after coming home from work, heard his wife yelling, grabbed his pistol, found a black bear was in the garage while his 3-year-old daughter and 10-year-old son were in there. His wife grabbed the kids. The bear was chased up a tree by his dog, and I guess he tried to scare it off, he says, and, I guess he hit it, and it died. Do you think that should he be charged for that?
No, man, he was
Are they
threatened. I mean,
protected?
what are you gonna? Oh, what are you gonna do?
Well,
I'm sorry, I
kind
couldn't
of.
shoot the bear, so I just let
No,
him
I
kill
mean,
my
like,
thing.
is it an endangered
it's-
species?
no.
Okay,
No,
well,
no.
I mean, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
I mean, if it's in my yard,
Yeah.
I think, in fairness,
I think for me though, once the dog ran it up the tree, I probably would have just brought everybody inside and locked some stuff up.
and I don't know what happened.
No, I wasn't there.
I wasn't there either.
I
but
wasn't there. I don't know.
I hate to.
But I'm just saying, what
babies,
I would
I
be
don't
the
know.
same with you. If the dog ran it up the tree, I'm probably not going to shoot it.
Yeah.
But again,
I wasn't there. I don't
I
know
wasn't
what
there.
happened.
You were in my garage,
Yeah.
my kids. I mean,
Yeah.
it,
Now, if it's a
I mean, and what animal would it be okay? I mean, let me
None.
ask him this: if a crocodile was in the
Right.
garage, would it have been okay to shoot it? If a grizzly bear, if a great white, I mean,
Yeah.
what does it take to be okay to shoot?
Right.
Yeah.
If it's in my house and it could kill me, that's my green light for it's
Do they
okay to
not
kill
have
it.
stand your ground laws in Connecticut?
For bears?
Well,
I don't know. That's a good
Are
question.
there provisions? Do they have amendments
what,
and categories and definitions?
Yeah, I mean,
and
clearly
whatnot? I mean,
that's why they want to get him is
So
because they do
okay,
have something like
he was sentenced to a rehab,
that. A mandatory rehabilitation program.
mandatory rehabilitation.
Now I don't know what he's
program.
rehabilitating. Maybe a prejudice against bears.
Right.
That's his.
30-day program.
I mean,
I
did he
will
go
not
hang out
kill
with-
bears.
He's a
that are-
bearist.
Did he go hang out with the Game and Fish Commission and go on some, exploratory hikes?
He went to meetings with other people to learn how to accept bear and recognize them as equal.
Hey, what? I hate to interrupt you.
What?
What camera are we on right now?
I don't
Is
know.
it
One.
that one up there?
Yeah,
The one with the blue light?
One.
All right, give me a minute. We're gonna try. They're complaining about it.
Who's complaining?
They're on. Well, they're not really complaining.
What's the
They're
problem?
just saying on comments. He says the little doggy said this camera angle has my OCD tripping.
Oh,
I know,
because
I
it's
feel you,
off
bro.
center.
Yeah, it's off. I was gonna
Here,
fix it.
let me just.
I know it's been causing us. Really?
God, who has that ringtone?
That's
Hang on.
freaking Rich.
Rich.
He's the one with all
Rich,
the.
grow the
he's
fuck
the
up.
one that's had his phone
Get
on
that
the whole damn
ringtone.
show.
Get that ringtone gone. It's not the sound. It's that you use that ringtone. That's what bothers me the most.
I figured it'd be like a WWE
There.
intro or something.
No,
His
I mean,
ringtone.
it's bing. It sounds like that commercial. I'm like, man, is that the default tone,
It
bro?
is. It has to be.
Come on, change that, man. It's so pedestrian.
Grow up. Ooh. Pedestrian.
Yeah. That is interesting. You know, I'm going to say if a bear, it is possible. I don't know, man. If I felt threatened, I definitely would shoot.
I mean, if I felt threatened,
yeah, but
I'm not
otherwise,
I'm really not going to feel that threatened once it's up a tree, I don't think. But at the
let me
same
ask
time,
you-
hell
all
do
right,
I
let me ask
know?
you
I'm not
this
there.
question. Let me ask you this. All right. If you went into your backyard and you found a rattlesnake, would you leave it or kill it?
I think I would probably run away screaming and find someone that possesses a penis.
Okay,
come and
that's
kill
fair.
it.
That's fair. That's
Just
fair.
to be real.
Yeah, but you're going to want it disposed of somehow from your backyard.
True story.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have to think in context of that too, because technically, you're not supposed to kill a snake either.
Yeah.
You know, because look, it's not trying to bite you.
Right.
It's not going out of its way to do it.
Right.
You just happen to step where it was or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, they don't want you to kill them. But again, I'm not going to let it just hang out in the backyard either.
Yeah.
So that someday I do walk out and get bit.
Yeah.
Because he decided to take up residence there because I was so welcoming.
Yeah. Or he's like, oh, tits, and there's a little hole someplace
Yeah,
that
right.
I don't know about until
Yeah, they do love dens.
Yeah, until it comes
Did
October
you ever see
and
that
it's
house,
cold.
that video where they had, they sent those snake wranglers, that snake guy under, and I think there were 84, it was some insane number of rattlesnakes under that guy's house.
Insane.
But on the same token, I'll say that many rattlesnakes and nobody was bitten.
Nobody. That is wild.
I mean, think about that. I mean, that,
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't know if I could live in a house after that. I think I might have to be in an apartment.
I don't know. That's a tough one there.
At least not something
That
with a
many
closet.
rattlesnakes, that's a tough one there. I probably, I don't know.
And I'd have to turn the light on all
I'd
the
be
time
real,
to go to the bathroom.
real cautious. I wouldn't be worried as much about that as I would.
You're not worried
just
about it
them
coming
around
up
the
the
yard.
toilet?
No, hell no, not a
Little-
rattlesnake.
Little.
No, they don't want to
But
get in
what
the
if they
water
bring
like
friends?
that. They're not
What if
bringing
they
any
bring
friends. They're not bringing any friends. Man. They're not bringing friends. All right, so let's see. You know the 5-second rule, right?
Of course.
Everybody
I
does.
used it yesterday.
Did you? Okay.
Yes.
I did.
I mean, I did rinse the olive off, but yeah, it was
Okay.
totally a 5-second rule.
Yeah.
Can you hear my stomach? I'm full on 5-second rule right now.
I hear you on that. So everyone's picked up, food fast to prevent, contamination. It's a method that's tried and true. Everybody, or is it a wives' tale? I mean, which is it?
There's a journal, I'm sure, somewhere proving it. They
Well,
got a
here you
grant
go.
for it.
A Chinese microbiologist has put the so-called 5-second rule to the test to scientifically gauge if it's safe to eat food that's fallen on the floor. Now,
Pretty sure Mythbusters already did that.
they may have.
But let's
First
see
of
what
all-
this guy says.
First of all, it depends on what floor.
Yep.
And what's been on that floor.
Yep.
Because if you have a furry that runs around, you might have yourself a hairy burrito. Mm-hmm. You got to be careful about that. But,
Cats, buttholes.
yeah, right. Said I thought it'd be fun for people to know all the little nasty details we don't think about every day. Thanks, man.
I can see the Petri dish.
So they amassed 450,000 followers on this channel where he uploads videos of himself testing cleanliness of everyday items like gas pumps, toothbrushes,
Oh, don't
in
do
a
that.
dog's mouth.
That's going to upset
know,
you.
So he put a Petri dish on the ground for various time limits from 0 seconds to a minute. And then he put the samples in a cultivator to see what bacteria
Right.
came. Turns out that every sample had evidence of microbial growth. So no amount of floor time technically prevented contamination. He said even 0 seconds is too long.
How else are you going to build your immune system?
Well, now see, you and I agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, the
see.
80s.
Yeah, no, we agree 100%. I think that's why kids are much sicker because they don't play out in the
yeah.
dirt and the woods and the foreign
Hose
stuff and all that
water.
stuff. Hose, all that stuff.
Yeah,
That
random flowers and
Yeah,
bugs and
all that.
and stuff off the ground that you
Yes.
think is candy.
yes, everything,
Yeah.
all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now parents hover, they helicopter, and they don't let their kids, do these things.
It's interesting. I'm like a weird kind of because there was a part of me that was kind of like a hover or helicopter one, but
Yeah.
except when it came to him getting hurt or learning his lesson the hard way.
Right.
Like I was like, absolutely, go do that.
Yeah.
He's got a scar on his knee, and his thumb clicks. Because go on and learn that.
Yeah,
Like, go on and learn that. You wanna go traipsing down the road? You wanna go set shit on fire with your friend? Enjoy.
No, you will learn the hard way.
You will learn the hard way.
No, you
but
will.
You won't do it again.
No, that's probably true. Let's do this real quick. Why not?
Listen up now, I'll tell you a story. Without a doubt, it's kinda gory. It's the worst news you could ever hear. Things just like this make you fear. Buying lunch on a dumb guy's knee, or a big hard fuck drowning somebody. Why you laughing? Why you laughing? This shit ain't funny. What? This shit
All right.
ain't funny.
This could be.
It's hilarious.
This could be funny, but it's not. It's not. Trust me.
I bet
no,
it's
Luke,
hilarious.
you're wrong. It's not funny. An 84-year-old man was critically injured during a crucifixion reenactment in western West Virginia on Good Friday. The event, organized at Vidalia Community Christian Church, took place at the Masonic Cemetery. While assisting with the reenactment, the man fell 10 feet from a replica cross. He was airlifted to a hospital, admitted to the ICU with broken ribs. According to his family, his condition has since improved,
Yeah, it's a miracle.
but he's 84.
Oh my gosh.
84 years old. What are you doing up on a cross at 84, man? Come on.
They did not crucify
trying to get there
Jesus
quicker.
at 84.
Right?
No, that's
The man was in his 30s.
This is a very optimistic casting there.
Hey, just think though, they probably saved money on costume design. They didn't have to, get like the diaper thing or whatever. It just
Wow.
the actor.
The church had been conducting this reenactment for over 20 years, so
With the same guy?
probably so. That may be the problem. Maybe,
He had retirement invested in acting like Jesus.
maybe 80 is where you cut the Jesus roll off at. Just try 80.
Uh-oh.
All right, so this one is pretty great story. I mean, not great, but terrible. An Alabama father on the verge of death after an individual attacked him in downtown Tucson. Jacob Couch and his wife Kristen, sitting on a bus bench at the corner of 6th and Broadway. Some guy walked up and just started yelling for some reason. The father of two started arguing with the crazy guy, and then the man who's 25, his name is Daniel Michael, hit Jacob in the neck with what she described as a machete. He started bleeding uncontrollably. The weapon cut the artery in the back of his neck in half and went so deep it hit his skull. So he's on life support at the ICU. He and his family were traveling from a bus from California back home to Alabama after a vacation, but decided to just stop in Tucson because that
why
little
not?
extra time. Yeah, so surveillance videos verified everything that was said. I mean, there was no rhyme or reason for it. The police confronted him at his apartment 3 days later with evidence. The investigators discovered a hatchet matching the weapon used in the attack, as well as clothes worn during the incident. He did initially deny it, but then, here you are on
with
camera.
The clothes.
Right.
Yeah, here's the
You got
camera,
the
sir.
clothes, the weapon, and video.
Yeah, pretty much we have everything here.
Yeah.
So what's up? Wow,
And wow.
that's crazy. Now,
That shit ain't funny, man.
That shit ain't funny.
that shit ain't funny. Fears growing in New England of a serial killer.
Oh.
I'm sorry?
Yes. Is there a serial killer hunting in small towns across New England? A growing number believe so.
Uh-oh.
Human remains have been discovered in various places in the region, enough evidence to suggest they're connected. Says it's creepy to think there's some evil person out there stalking and killing people for no reason. Studies show that there are serial killers operating in the country at any given time. Not like in the 70s and 80s, but yes.
Is that because there's more autism today?
I don't think so. I'm not sure that serial killers are more autistic. As a matter of fact, I think that probably would be problematic.
Do you know that the zodiac sign with the most serial killers? Take a guess.
Taurus.
Nope.
I'd say Cancer.
Nope. Scorpio.
Okay.
But Cancer, I think, is in the top 5. Taurus, also, I believe, in the top 5.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Residents
better look
across Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island are on high alert. March 6th, the remains of 35-year-old Paige Fannin of West Islip, New York, or Islip, turned up in New Haven. Her body had been found in a fast-moving river. Then on March 21st, they found another set of human remains, later confirmed to be a missing mom of 59-year-old Denise Leary. On March 25th, Rhode Island State Police found another set of remains in a wooded area, later identified as 56-year-old Michelle Romano. Several other sets of unidentified remains have been located in New England in a similar period. So they think that
They got them a serial killer. Wow.
Yeah, and someone who's moving very quickly.
Very quickly.
I mean, they're doing a lot of it.
That's
Yeah, to be that. Normally,
That's active.
You see, they take either they explode in a rage and it happens at one
Yep,
time,
yep.
or
it's over
it's
decades.
protracted over years and years.
Yeah.
This is a very short time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he's spiraling to some extent, I
Yeah,
would think, but
yeah.
clearly he's been able to get away so far with not.
Ooh, do you think he's like
whatever it is? They don't have prints
Yeah.
or they don't match anything.
Okay, so that means that they probably have law enforcement experience or access to the ID channel.
Yeah, or watch the ID
Yeah.
channel copiously.
Yeah.
Here's how not to get caught as a serial killer.
It's probably somebody doing their thesis. They
Yeah.
got a grant for this.
I know they got a grant to murder. Yeah, I wanted to see how long I could be a
with it,
serial killer. So I got a grant from the government to kill people, but
absolutely.
I can only kill hookers.
One of those
so
damn liberal colleges.
That's definitely tied to a liberal arts
Liberal
degree.
college,
That's
it's-
right.
Yes, 100.
That's it. No,
English
that's it.
literature.
That's hilarious.
Jeff Mitchell's been talking in comments about some hot peppers that he was supposed to bring here.
Oh man, I wish he would, man. I love Jeff, man.
Well,
He brings
I'm
good
hungry.
stuff.
He wanted to know how long
Peppers?
y'all are going to be here this morning. I got to take off right after the show. That's what that phone call
Yeah,
was
I
about.
mean, I'm probably going to bounce right about 9, man. I've got to
Bring
do
him in
real
tomorrow,
estate
man.
stuff, huh?
I had to tell him bring him in tomorrow.
Say it slow.
Bring
Michigan.
them in tomorrow.
There you go, Michigan. Good job.
Dang.
Just messing with you, man. I made Rich mad. He's mad at me now.
I'm not
Yeah.
mad. I
No,
just
he's
forgot
mad.
that
He
I
gave
had
me the
to.
look. He let me
You
know.
forgot that you have a
He
resentment?
let me
I
know.
forgot that I have to, talk slower for.
That's
Patrick.
right. We're dumb.
He's,
Oh, that
We're
you're a
real dumb
Yankee?
here, buddy.
You should
Let's see.
apologize for that.
Yeah. So yeah.
I didn't say it. He did.
No, I was. He knows I was messing with him.
No, I'm saying he should.
No,
Oh.
she's saying you should apologize for saying we're all
you.
dumb here. Me?
Oh.
What do I need to
you.
apologize for?
Aren't you a Yankee?
No, they said that if I lived down here for 5 years, I'd be a reborn
Oh,
Southerner.
no, so you're a Yankee.
Oh, you're a born
That's what I
again
was told.
Southerner.
A born
Damn
again Southerner if you
charlatan.
live down here for
Wow.
5
Damn
years.
carpet.
I didn't know they
bagger.
were issuing those cards like that now.
That's what I was told, man. I wasn't the one
Thank
that
you.
came up
I'm
with the
pushing
rule.
buttons now.
Yeah, that-
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Oh yeah, here.
Oh, that's over there.
Yeah, what were they talking about? Bundy said something about my phone rang and I had to go take that call because it was actually an important call, but something about you said that I need to grow up.
What?
Talking about my ringtone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
it
yeah.
makes your ringtone.
Yeah, because it's the default. Like you hadn't changed it. It's
I
the
haven't. It's just whatever comes on
so
the phone.
pedestrian, Rich.
So
Why?
pedestrian.
You go have all those like music, songs and stuff as your ringtone?
Anything would.
Anything.
The commercial.
but the default.
I feel like it's Pavlov's dog when I hear it. I'm like, Am I being drawn to a TV screen? I need to go buy a phone. Is it time to upgrade?
Well, see, the problem, like, I used to be one of those
Internet.
ringtone guys, but
Yeah.
then hearing, like, the same 30 seconds of the song over and over and over
Yeah,
again
I
50
totally
million
get that.
times a day,
No, they really all
I
suck.
eventually get to the point where I'm like, the reason I'm not answering my phone is because I threw it against a wall because I'm tired of hearing the same song.
I have
I do
special
understand
ringtones
that.
for my mother and my kids. So
Dude,
I know
yeah,
that-
see,
The
I
sign
don't
tones.
Yeah.
have time
So
for
I know
that.
that's-
I have a
that it's
couple
important.
people like that. Yeah. Yeah, I do have my wife set on a different ringtone,
Yeah.
so I know it's
He-
her over.
Exactly.
Jeff
Because
does
if I
say,
ignore anybody else, I won't ignore her, though.
Jeff
No.
said I can bring some in tomorrow if that would work out better
Yeah,
for
no, that'd
y'all.
be great. Come on in tomorrow, man.
That
Come in
and a
anytime.
jar of our pepper jelly with bacon in it.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, hell yeah. Please, Jeff, come on by.
Might need a ditch
1021
B&I.
Hemlock in North Little Rock. 1021 Hemlock. Get on by here. Listen, huge thanks to David Lindsay over at Cabot Mechanical. He is the service manager there. They do HVAC work, and he is phenomenal. I just recommended him to another client yesterday, and already I know that they're thrilled about it. David is just such a great HVAC tech, but more than that, he's honest. You ever meet, when you meet a mechanic who's honest where you think, oh, my car is toast,
Yeah.
and they pull your ass out of the grease and it's not that much,
Yeah.
you hold on to
I
those
miss
guys.
people like that.
This is how David is. And so if you want to
He works
get hold
in
of
Little
David-
Rock, right?
He works, yes, he
Okay.
does. He works Little Rock, North Little Rock, anywhere in
Okay,
Central
wonderful. We
Arkansas.
might be hollering at him because
Yeah.
my mom's company they're so busy with all their commercial stuff they can't get to their spring, service contracts with their residential
No,
clients.
I get it. Well, these guys are awesome. You can reach David at 944-5776. It's 944-5776. And tell him I sent you. You've seen him on the show. He's been on the show many times. So he's good people, and he'll do you right. Otherwise, if you don't know, I'm a real estate agent. I do help people buy and sell homes, and would love to help you guys out there. Look, I do a lot of silly stuff. It is true, but when it comes to real estate, I do good business for people and take care of them, and I make sure my clients get the best representation they can get. I look at it like an attorney would look at it. That's how I represent my clients, and I
love
put
that.
that kind of work into it, and I will for you. Just had to. I've got some new financing too.
This is abuse,
What are
man.
you
You're throwing
doing
stuff
over
at me now?
there?
I am. I've got some new financing too that is exciting to talk about. That will include down payment and closing cost all wrapped up in one. Yeah, so we've got that going too. You can reach me online. You can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me at patrickandthepeople.com, or you can just text me or call me at 575-5485. It's 575-5485. And I will definitely, if you're a first-time buyer, I will walk you through the process of try to keep you from being overwhelmed. I think mainly it'll be pretty good. But give me a call, and let me try to help you out. Anything going on at the break room that we need to know?
I have no idea. No, just breaking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a
Okay.
good time. I'm working with a new. You know what?
If there's anybody that has some flexibility in their schedule and would love to be featured in, some reels or clips or things like that, I would love to have kind of a more diverse,
Cast of people breaking
cast of
things.
people breaking things in my socials. I love my social media ladies, but I'm sure they want to break too from it and just for it to look better. So if there's
Yeah.
anybody interested in doing that, shoot
You don't
me
want
a
it to
DM.
all be mad women.
Yeah, exactly. I want
Right.
the mad dudes and
You want
theys,
everybody.
thems. Yeah,
we need all kinds of
yeah,
people.
we're
Short
everything
hair,
and
long hair, tall,
absolutely.
short,
Yeah,
skinny,
yeah,
fat,
whatever.
sexy, not,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, just not pregnant.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
Like-
I
like-
can see that. Yeah.
Like not
Discrimination.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. kidding. That's safety.
Yeah,
That is
well,
safety.
and we are. I'm getting things ready for the Arkansas Cannabis Times Expo that's going to
Oh.
be next month.
Okay.
I am going to be there. I've got my friend Lee Major is the lady in charge of all that stuff. She's she's just a total badass. We are going to have her on the show next
Awesome.
month. I'm really
'Cause I'm
excited.
going to
about
have to
that.
ask her
Yeah.
about that name because
Yeah.
I wondered
I
did her
hate it.
parents name her
Oh,
after.
her Lee Major? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't,
Big fan? Maybe?
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't
She's
know.
amazing. She's absolutely amazing. I love her to death.
I'm looking
but
forward to meeting her.
Yeah, I'm going to do a demo there. I'm really excited about that.
So if people,
I've got merch.
oh, you do?
I got merch. I forgot to wear my shirt today, but I've got shirts.
Okay.
I'm getting some more stress balls in and some keychain earplug holders
Okay.
with the logo and everything.
So, am I right? Is it Breakroom LR, thebreakroomlr.com?
It is thebreakroomlr.com.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
breakroomlr.com, that's how you can, go set an appointment,
Yes.
get your time booked, your reservation
Yes.
made, and do all that. Rich,
Damn it, Rich!
Just destroying stuff.
Rich,
man.
you're
I'm
just
telling you.
on fire today.
We're all over the place today.
You're on fire.
Man, y'all have a good one.
Hey,
I gotta
listen,
take off. I've
Okay.
got some things.
yeah,
going on.
apparently he's got a crack deal happening right now, so we've got to go. Late?